item for all Salon people and then party them. Sierra Leone Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO because we get Bebe program then like Salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour and the Gladi program, Look Me, I Look You. All this they start soon na www.sierragemedia.org. Now who's tem these?
Hill Valley Academy is a school that provides the very best opportunities for our students to develop, grow, and mature into young adults who are encouraged to become patriots as well as global citizens. We have high expectations and ambitions for all our students. We provide a caring, supportive, tolerant, and challenging environment in which all individuals can grow and flourish. A graduate of Hill Valley Academy is a well-rounded human being capable of making the most of what life has to offer. We actively encourage academic excellence with a sense of responsibility. We look forward to welcoming you to our school and to meeting you in the not too distant future, because together we achieve the extraordinary.
My country, baby. Sweet Salon. Sweet Salon. Now we're going to Cloud Thomas.
Sweet Salon. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if we well, Usa we go. Sweet Salon. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if it well, who's how we go. Everybody me say welcome. If we own this country so strong, everybody me say stand up. If you like Salon, say yeah. Then say yeah. Then say yeah. So good in the morning, the land is just gloomy, the moon is going, the cloud is forming, the cocks are blowing, dew is falling, the bags are coming, everybody running. Inside Sweet Salon today, the land is yummy. See the mommy they cooking fufu, the body smoking cigarettes. Rajo they watch baby musu, where they find out the countries. Right in West Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. Inside this land, so much I can boast of. Look at the good plantation, from the beach I get meditation. Make me not wear this nation, I get L-O-V-E for me Salon. Yeah, for me Salon. Love for me Salon, Sweet Salon. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, who's how we go. Sweet Salon, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, who's how we go. Everybody me say welcome. If we own this country so strong, everybody me say stand up. If you like Salon, say yeah. Then say yeah. Then say yeah.
I know I L-O-V-E, Sierra Leone was an L-O place where sweet like Conga, Diamond,
oxide, silver and gold. So that we make count for the young and old. I mean for let we serve, help we serve. Also you come from the wise, you want for put chest. Peace, love and unity, now for put first. For the jealousy and watch or that don't make sense. Togetherness is one, but wait for we success. So get up and go walk, and sit down for the top. I criticize the government just for mix up. But that on the pain, so we need for good stuff. Ever also for you all, no matter how you struggle the bone. This life without pain, not easy, not in the zone. Just forget to live in who myself can go so. We like to say I go, I never forget about this old.
Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, whose side we go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, whose side we go. Everybody missing welcome, if we own this country so strong. Everybody missing stand up, if you like salon, say yeah, 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 yeah. Then say yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, then say yeah. We all remember say, sweet alone how we each and every one go take care of his own. We all remember say, this country now we each and every one for take care of us alone. I will exalt thee, realm of the free. Great is the love where I get for so long. I got enough track of one for maintain this land. No matter the situation, I get love for so long. I got enough every day, no day pamphlet. Blessing up picking go school, make it go land the boo. I don't owe me all like farmer, put the country part up for any attack. Me the way me boo. I got enough every day, no day pamphlet. Blessing up picking go school, make it go land the boo. I don't owe me all like farmer, put the country part up for any attack. Me the way me boo. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, whose side we go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, whose side we go. Everybody missing welcome, if we own this country so strong. Everybody missing stand up, if you like salon, say yeah, 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 yeah. Then say yeah, 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 yeah. Then say yeah.
Hello, my name is Josephine Kamara. I'm the founder of You Can Do It Foundation. You Can Do It Foundation is a charitable organization based in Sierra Leone, West Africa. You Can Do It Foundation has been in existence for the past 2 years. We have been fighting gender-based violence against women and girls within the community. During the past 2 years, we have been offering psychosocial support, counseling, court fee, medical fee, including school items to the survivors of gender-based violence. However, during the lockdown of COVID-19, report received and confirmed that rape cases among a minor has increased tremendously within our community. Because of this, You Can Do It Foundation has secured the land to build an accommodation for the survivors of rape. However, this may almost become impossible without your generous support. We need your help to build this home for the survivors. Your help could be in cash or in kind. If you wish to join us to make a difference in a child's life, please go to our website, which is www.youcandoitcyf.org, or you can go to our GoFundMe page, which is Home of Hope for the survivors of gender-based. Or you can contact us with the details at the end of this video. We thank you greatly for your generous support, and thank you once more for making a difference in a child's life.
I was raped multiple times by my aunt's boyfriend when I was 6.
I was repeatedly raped at the age of 8 by a close family member.
I was raped at 19. I didn't speak openly about it because I was ashamed and afraid that people would judge me.
I was raped at age 5 by my caregiver's husband.
On June 17, 2020, 5-year-old Khadija Sakon a beautiful little girl from Freetown, Sierra Leone, was repeatedly raped and strangled to death, allegedly by her own cousin. Her death shocked the nation. But in truth, in this small West African country, 9 out of 10 girls experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. Think about that for a second. 9 out of 10. That's 90%. My name is Aisha Sase. I'm a journalist and activist. I'm joining forces with Idris Elba and other activists from across Sierra Leone to support the survivors of sexual violence with the Survivors Solidarity Fund. Please consider donating whatever you can afford. All monies raised will go to 4 local organizations currently providing free medical and legal services to survivors. 5-year-old Khadija lost her life to sexual violence. That same threat remains for millions of others. So this is also a call for you to use your voice, your power, to draw attention to an enduring culture of rape. Together, we must end it now. My name is Aisha Sase. I am Khadija Sako.
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 We are Khadija Sako.
We are all Khadija Sako.
To my friend, she was the brightest at our level, even though she was as innocent as the heaven. That did not stop Papa Abu at age 57 to ask for her hand in marriage as she turns 11. Her parents, being naive about this rage, tolerated this marriage, and this destroyed the hopes and dreams of Khadijatu to live like it in Seattle. Instead, she's been used as a tool by an old school. Khadijatu is being used as a bait by her own mate. My friend is being emotionally tortured by this old culture. Old child marriage, it's on the rampage like disease, eating up the fabric of our girl child image, and it's our duty to cage. Let's diverge. Please be obliged. It is now we emerge from this ancient custom at large.
If not for this dreadful event, Khadijatu could have become president, but now she has been trapped in an old man's residence, like a mosquito in a tent. She is vulnerable, but with her age, she is still able to become that virtuous woman of substance, like Madam Patricia Kaba, Madam Dr. Kadi Sise, Madam Sianyama Koroma, Madam Dr. Sylvia O'Blyden, Madam Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Oh yes, without child marriage, our girl child can still turn into Madam Hillary Clinton, Madam Theresa May. Be it as it may, Madam Condoleezza Rice, let's not be hypnotized, but rather stay wise, for this can only be realized if education is being prioritized and child marriage is being criticized. So please, parents, do not relent, as it is apparent that a girl child can become great if only you patiently wait.
Hello, Fambulemuna. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night, depending on whose partner you are with. And yourself, welcome to Sierra Media, we midweek program. How the Go Dae Go Insai De Republic. So the people already fast. We want to continue for say Ramadan Mubarak to una and hope say una they enjoy now. Go the Ramadan they go so small, and for we Christian brothers and sisters. I know say Friday by this time, then go to eat, drink, and jolly. That's what I think. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, jolly business. So now welcome. And so we newcomers them, the platform we say una welcome and hope so now continue for enjoy program and share with una loved ones them, una friends and una wider network. And please una make sure so una like the page as well, not just share. And for we Jurade and Aya, we want to say thank you. And without una, definitely we not get a program. So we truly appreciate una as always. And welcome to another edition of How the Go Dae Go Insai De Republic. Today, me and T-Boy didn't ask as well. For can talk about the thing them we matter. T-Boy can say inna the man them, inside the man them. So before I introduce the program, welcome T-Boy. T-Boy, welcome. And how the Ramadan they teach you?
Everybody, welcome to another edition of Sierra Leone Media Live on Facebook and YouTube. And I know say on all the wait for this particular shots today. Ramadan, they treat me nice. Say Ramadan week in camp, say they go something the people not know exactly saying Ramadan. Because like we so used to them, something you know they stay, some about them big they go eat now. So we used to this anyway. So no big deal. But anyway, Ramadan is a religious month, like you don't say. To the Christian there, I know say Friday na the final day for begin to the last day. So na the final day for begin to the own bad. But guess what? Some man of fast self this year. Hey, can you imagine? I know a couple of years ago we been get fasting resolution.
Yeah.
Some man go off chocolate, some man go off sweet, some man go off benny cake, some man go off peppermint, some man go off diamond, black diamond and grey diamond. But this trip, no resolution, no. So I take it, we not fast this year. No
assume.
We not say every year they announce the resolution for this year, but this people not hearing nothing. But the cap fits me. We not say Ramadan, they fast. Juma,
yes,
that's what she comes.
Well, say Agem Media, we always keep him, Thank you.
Okay, now go launch that new private space trip. Okay.
Yes.
Something like the new salon NASA. What thing?
You never know.
Well, this is not funny. To go now space at the season right now. I thought say I deal with suicide space. See me young bento. Well, right now, you don't have different ball game style,
Not different level.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, today's program is very
welcome. What are your expectations for today's program?
Interesting, challenging, controversial, and I think it gets a lot of important high points, and it gets a lot of dramatic low points. So basically, it depends on how the viewers then get for assess what they can talk about, but it gets in highs and lows. It gets some areas and we definitely are not much too comfortable with people and for discuss about. You get some area and the way, yes, you have to be in the position to discuss it, whether it's comfortable or not. It's just the reality of what life is. So yeah, there's a mixed feelings about today's program as far as I'm concerned. It gets some highs and lows, and it gets a lot of controversy where either you did for or against, and you make a decision whether certain of the thing we can talk about today is right, is correct, or is real, or is fake, or it did happen, or it didn't happen. So basically, that is what today's program is going to be all about. But like I say, let's have an open view, and then when you listen to it, I forget an open view. Because we self can be reading for body power self. You don't want to say, Not in the kitchen, yeah. But for the viewers, they don't miss me for the Keep Company every other Wednesdays and Thursdays. We might be able to do that back soon anyway, because some of the workload them alongside what they do them again reduce a little bit. But like we say, Wednesday will be paramount. We'll go all out and make sure say Wednesday not fail anymore, except otherwise. When I say otherwise, now super extra emergency, but we hope that not come anytime soon and push them far away. But the tension on me, the rise small, the water, the tide don't begin to come up. So when that tide they begin go at certain level, they begin to understand say everything else is now paramount. So everything, all team for go. So yeah, today's program is going to be very interesting.
Nice. Thank you so much. And let me give shout out to the people in the chat group. If anybody there on the YouTube as well that you want to give shout out to, please do so. If not, let's shout out the regulars them and all the people there in the chat group. They see plus the invisible one them. We get invisible viewers them where nothing come on. And also our follow and say we get Femi Palmer with we as well. We technical man. Without him, we do not have a program. So he's here as well, and we push the program before. So that ended at the chat right now. We see. I see the man himself, Comrade Koita Makalo. I see Kobe Gaba, Mitch Salam, DJ Keman, Karim Kago, Kaletu. Cherno Umo, Phil Hodges, Kate, as always, Sequence Dumbuya, Emmanuel King, and what again? I don't miss anybody. Samakuyate, and the very own Marie MC.
Left me, boy, and I fast money also, please.
Me, the cook Sunakati for me.
I don't talk about Sunakati, I send a fast money also. For we YouTubers, like I say, most times they are on the ground, and I like the underground system because I know say, who know you know you.
Who know you know you exactly. So today program, T-Boy, the reason why I make some of these things important now because we don't talk now. Other people they don't talk. People they don't write, they don't post. But we've been saying something consistently, say, new media, social media is here to stay. Social media is a necessary evil. Like what you can say, depending how you look at it. Not also. And it gets impact where it creates, now we like them in real time, every second. And also, social media and new media don't disrupt the media landscape. Because say Trade, you ask something?
Well, disrupt them. I think what's in it bring come to light now, the challenges of what's in mainstream media being the face in terms of real-time production, real-time news, real-time issues that way. Mainstream television will take them a couple of hours before they begin set up, get camera ready and everything before they go live. But nowadays, the essence of social media is to bring things to us in real time with a click of a finger. So you don't have to go through the protocols of getting ready, do your sound check, get the camera fixed, get lights if you need lights, get vox pop, all that stuff. So you cut down all the protocol of all those necessary preparations, and then you can straight to the point, real-time production. So that is the essence of social media. But it is not just social media per se, as people see it. The social entity of now the fact say there are less regulations in how you broadcast. So it is in a kind of soft environment and social entities the way they go alongside that, because you might not need to go through all the rigorous protocols, the black and the red and the green tips that we get for go through before you go on live broadcast. So the social entity of now you make a feel say people can take advantage and take disadvantage of that particular word. The social media is not for fun, but the social aspect of for cut down the protocols. Now make them call them social. But yeah.
Well, you're right. You're right. So waiting maybe the part where I say don't can't disrupt the media landscape, because before a very few people become so powerful, now then they decide whose information for feed we and whose information for withhold from we, right? So the censorship part of it, wherein, okay, I don't go cover this. Tibo cancel the law watch. No. Tibo, this is too gruesome for law show. Juma, no. Juma, let me show this. It go make let the audience then follow the story, kind of. But with the new media and social media, now real time, on court, organic stuff.
Although that it gets your own disadvantage.
It gets your own disadvantage as well. But for now, I can say it's a necessary evil. It may be evil in some ways, but it's a necessary evil. What to make this important to what they say? Now for inform, educate, and provoke things then. Inform in real time. And what we can always say, we say the world, we don't live in vacuum anymore.
Yeah.
The global village.
Yeah.
Right? We're all intertwined. If Salon blink, America is going.
Salon blink, America not going to go too far.
No, not go too far. Remember Ebola? Term? Salon blink? Yeah, America wrong. So the situation like that, COVID, it affects every time. So it's information and politics and everything we surround with life. Why make it matter? Today na Salon we talk about, but we can focus on the United States Department. United States Department, that like we go say them foreign office, them foreign affairs. Okay, when they send diplomat them in every country, then do their own country report on human rights practices in Sierra Leone. Country report for 2021, the year 2021. So we want to talk about that. And the reason we highlight social media, because they reference a lot about social media, things that was that's been reported, through social media, or wait and see through social media, or campaign that will happen through social media, or protest, or call to action, different things then. Right, Steve?
That's correct.
Right. So that's why it's important. So the United States, they do their country report on human rights practices in Sierra Leone. This, not to T-Boy say, not to Juma say, not to Femi say, not to Adebayo say. I'm deliberate. I will put that one.
I know you're deliberate. I know.
Not to Adebayo say, because we hear some people and they call other people and say they will call Adebayo, they tell her, let keep quiet. So I wonder how that will call the U.S. State Department and say, una put down on a report, now if not to that, we'll do certain things. But anyway, that's an aside. Not to Udabaka will call. Kasara Kitchen. Not to Kasara Kitchen say, not to First Lady say.
I'm not going to sketch me mind anymore. I will leave outside, don't stop.
You left outside?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So the reason they could say this are diplomat them, people away and send out and then do their own research, then do their own findings. Now they own reports about Sierra Leone, particularly focusing on human rights issues. And T-Boy, if you look at, what make her feel good? It shows that we are not wasting our time here. And we've been, getting so many bashes and accusations, say, we are anti-government. Okay? But let's make her glad enough, because the reports we then publish, most of the information as well, they reference the government. So now from the government point of view, not so like a mayor you will just talk. But what's in there you they talk, not far different from what's in the report. I don't know if you get time for glance through the report at all. Okay? So, and certain people, the way we don't they mention, or certain institutions, the way we don't they mention a lot, now then talk about Nayaso. Primary, now the Sierra Leone police. They don't say, they talk about the Sierra Leone police. Until we start to program, the second program we'll do, we ask yourself, is it a force for good or force of oppression? Right? So one of the first, we all the programs, after we do independence program, the next program we'll do now be about the police. So the police been on the play on so many things then, and it continue for play. In reports come out, they highlight the police. But now, United States government, food and state department issue their own report, and prime there is the Sierra Leone police. Yeah, I don't know if you get anything yet for add. If you not get, we go come the just now. So section 1 of the report say respect for the integrity of the person. Okay? And it talk about arbitrary deprivation of life and other unlawful or politically motivated killings. Section 1A, arbitrary deprivation of life and other unlawful or politically motivated killings. Whilst we wait for going to, you ready for me?
Yeah. Well, I just want to go through the list of concerns of the report itself, where they highlight the key things that we have to say paramount to them in the first place. We then take into high consideration: 1, that they respect for integrity; 2, respect for civil liberties; 3, freedom to participate in political process; 4, corruption and lack of transparency in government; 5, abuse of human rights; 6, discrimination of societal abuse. So when you look at 6 of the major issues they will have for tackle within these reports, on its own, individually, the majority of them, they go towards the government of Sierra Leone. The practices of the government of Sierra Leone towards its citizens. Primarily, that is the essence of this particular document. So whenever there is a document that comes out for human rights concerns in any situation where we find ourselves, primarily the key subject is referring to government issues regarding human rights. An officer that never ever make any kind human rights reports will go against certain individuals in small pockets of any country.
Well, first like during war situation, war crimes and things like that.
Most of the war crimes then still when they investigate, when they will make reports on, will be focused on governments in power where they possibly don't perpetuate those sort of human rights abuse to the citizens of that particular country.
Yeah, that's to a large extent, but you still get warring factions there.
The warring factions are on both sides. If you're fighting a war, the two parties then really fight the one and then get forget that responsibility there. But in other aspects,
except in the Sierra Leone case, when there be a civil conflict, then they fight rebels, they fight government, but the people that way suffer more than civilians. They way suffer in the hands of the rebels as well as government forces.
Yeah, you're correct. So, well, we are civil war, we get not to international war, now civil war. And when you get a country with a civil war situation, I feel say now within internal conflicts where you get a fraction or many fractions fighting each other in terms of gaining power of authority for either rule at that particular area or the country as a whole. But in this situation right now, the human rights reports where the American government puts together where they represent really Sierra Leone now specifically focused to voting at the issues the way the citizens of Sierra Leone they undergo with the current situation of the government within power and how they feel say most of voting they happen is either right or correct towards the citizens of the country. So basically these are serious issues. And for me to get an outsider with an independent view, independent opinion, and most of their reports have been verified. It's not just on the basis of hearsay. They emphasize on the verification and authenticity of the evidences they will then get for me to be able to put this report together. So like Regina said earlier on, it is not something where you go say that ASA not being investigated properly. I mean, this is now 2021. We are now in 2020. Yes. So it took them about a year for putting together a document like this. And it is not a massive document where you go fit to see, you know, people for read. It is a document that is readable within maybe, for fast readers, and maybe 20 minutes. For slow readers, and maybe about half an hour. And if you take your time for read them properly, you'll be able to know exactly some of the detailed information, the detailed issues they really actually try for analyze in terms of what in then get as concerns to the human rights abuse in Sierra Leone. So this is nothing we should just take lightly, because the human rights human rights abuse is still ongoing in Sierra Leone, and there are people who still are not happy with the situation. Can you imagine? We have Dr. Lahai here last week, and look, Dr. Lahai raised serious concerns about his own safety.
Mm-hmm. And he just for saying what is wrong.
Exactly. And he able to explain how he left the country. Mm-hmm. So it means there is still some high level of concerns in regards to human rights abuse in Sierra Leone. So we have to take it very seriously. It doesn't mean if it hasn't happened to you've gone free. No. We don't necessarily
how many times you get people calling in to say T-boy there with a big, go salon?
Well, I think every other day.
Right.
And even up to
and some of them are not even people with sabi, so they don't have no personal interest for say a family member or with color. Some of just people viewing, listening to our programs and all of that, because nobody not feel safe. The country will not cost nobody. We talk to waiting with the talk. And Nameka say today, I feel good that reports like this from international other foreign governments will come and tell things them as they are. Things that will be done, the advice we done, the warn, we done, the call, say, una try una fix them thing here. This not a born good picking. But then say power soldier team. How are the results this?
Well, it is a result that you should be happy about if you're a Sierra Leone. Honestly, it means people are watching. It means people are not just watching, but they are paying close attention to some of the issues that really happen in the country. It means for document something like this is going down into records, and it will be a point of reference. At any given point in time, when they want to make something becomes reality, they go back to history and look at the references that have been made, or look at the things that we don't document, when an issue that we possibly they write in front of their faces now. Okay, this is new. No, it's not new. Guess what? We have it on records. This is ongoing. Mm-hmm. So not something where, as a Sierra Leonean, you feel happy for celebrate about, but you should be happy that people are watching and people are paying attention and people are documenting. Even though we don't do that because we don't really think it's a priority for us to document such things that are happening in Sierra Leone, but I think it's paramount. No matter how graphic those images are, no matter how disturbing those images are, I think it's very good for us to be able to document these things so we learn from them.
Right.
So we fix them when we think it is about to approach us again. So these are some of the things we should take into high consideration. How it happens in Rwanda. They just celebrated an anniversary of genocide a couple of days ago or weeks ago. So it is part of their culture now. It becomes a constant reminder. So don't forget, we were here a couple of years ago and you knew exactly what happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
We killed each other for nothing, just because somebody belongs to different tribes.
How many times will they remind the government and people where we know where we get sense about we own civil war? The outcome was a document, the Truth and Reconciliation Reports, TRC. We can always reference and also we say waiting through art for talk, but not no more they bring peace.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to remember anything or you're not sabi any other thing on that Truth and Reconciliation Report, at least sabi that one line there. If you memorize that one line there, or you go, even if you give PhD in TRC report from Dominion University. That is okay. If we all get, if the PhD that they give, not just on that, no more. I think I'm fine because people will memorize that one day and will not go hot, we say. But go ahead, boy.
To be honest, Juma, I think we get from member because look, let's be realistic. For any child that is possibly 20 years old right now, not ever gets any knowledge just if Salon be ever going to war. It's not on records. No go ever sit down and think say Salon been go into some kind gruesome war where many people lose their arms and legs and died. Because there is no reminder of that. So even when you talk
people will fail for pay attention.
Well, to be honest to you, I will not say that because it is because that history is still not being taught in school because we want to wipe it out to say it never happened. But a reminder of that should have been constant in the eyes and the minds of younger generation growing up. Say, you guys don't know nothing about what happened in Sierra Leone 20 years ago. But that is exactly what is happening in Rwanda.
Right.
They maintain thousands of human heads, skulls, and preserve them into a museum form. So they remind people of those gruesome incidents. But we don't have that in Sierra Leone because, for example, the only thing they see unfortunate ones, the way sometimes lose their arms or their legs. Basically, we still don't recognize them as these are the victims of the war that we have in Sierra Leone. People in the still say about a bigger man then. But they are starting to understand what it make them go to that point. Thank you. So because of we not get that reminder there, the younger generation don't know exactly what has happened because the younger generation are the ones that are using now to perpetrate some of these crimes to civilians, to citizens, because they might not have understood the issue that we had 20, 30 years ago. So then they say like, Abo, Nafim. Now, so it looked like to some of them because they never believed that happened. Because I don't come across a couple of Sierra Leoneans them in Freetown or possibly within the provincial towns. When you ask and say, Salon Miguel War, no, the only war where they feel to say ever happened within the region are the Liberia War.
Right.
Nobody gets to be collection off. Then Judicial still on like nothing.
Yeah, but they're not sabi what happen at Salon.
They're not sabi what happen at Salon.
Right. So
therefore, we can look at them and see how we begin to educate people about the past, the gruesome issues, then things them will happen to with people in our Salon. If we make a constant reminder, people will think. Because when we make a statement, just to say, remember what it mean cause the war, remember truth and reconciliation, remember being too many XYZ, remember peace accord, remember whether one entirely or just say no election. I mean no voting self-pass election first. But there is no records. We go actually pinpoints to any of them things they are so this is so past sometimes someone go begin dig them from history.
Right.
And I get upset about something I will talk about later on as we go along.
And that is the sad part because the people the way they govern we right now participate in the war. You understand? So they're supposed to understand fully. And with the expectancy, with waiting the promises we've been get, saying Africa unites the country, for make will be one people, and for look at the new direction for develop the country. But I shall say this kind of report where promotes now the State Department is a big blow to the government of Sierra Leone. Why did I say that? Because me and you, Salon person, and every other majority of Sierra Leoneans them don't cry, say not so things supposed to happen. But they cared less. They say, once they get the support of the international community. So, and what do presidents can apply for? What you can go do?
If they go solve the problem, we'll be done left behind. We are
No, the other one. They say they go clean the country image.
So they have for us, why not?
Yeah, they go clean the country image so you don't fly in a almost, so right now, they're right, Vietnam. So, who's one W? We'll see, say,
no, you get 2 V after Vietnam, you get for Venezuela.
Okay, Venezuela. Then after that, then you go W.
Yes.
All right. So, it on they fly all around the world for go clean the country image. But like how Femi can say, what he call her, say, clean your backyard. Because if you not clean your backyard, where breeze blow, outside the dirty they go. Inside the bedroom. Pala. They jump the pala, go inside your bedrooms until on top of bed, now and the dirty they sleep. So this is exactly what is happening now. So this is a dent to the government, the human rights record. You know, a big dent. And the things that already happen now, these are things that me, you, a lot of Sierra Leoneans, they don't talk about. Some they're afraid for even talk about. And like you say, a case in point, Dr. John Idris Lahai, where just they talk about fake degrees, afraid for in life, again for smuggle, himself come up in the country. So the government, if we not be done, they take this serious, we can't clean our backyard, and by that, we just get to do the right things there. But it's too late, I believe. Because if you don't perpetrate human rights abuses and all of that now captured by, you know, foreign governments for 4 years, how can you wash that within few months to elections? You can't. So T-Boy, I see Kate say something. We're very important now. So say even on Facebook, people that we want to use for be party, you understand? Now they're not even engage with you because of this politics. So that's how low we've gone. And of course, Mola Isilo summarize the report here. We can't talk about them. I know Mohamed Sise and a Daniel Kamara say, you know, not propaganda and a lie. That's fine. That's all right. But if we the propaganda, we not a problem. But if you go tell the United States government, say, then say they propaganda. Go not to publish his report. We just they talk about waiting and publish. So T-Boy, don't do you a favor. Don't post the link for you there, Mohamed Sise and also Daniel Kamara. You can read them for yourself, sir. T-Boy, anything jump to mind in that report?
Few things that jump to mind, yes, of course. One of which are the opening summary, where actually they give you a brief insight of voting, then try for investigating how they summarize everything that happened within Sierra Leone in 2021. So then now go into case by case of some of the incidents they want for highlights. They highlight the killings, then highlight the rights of civilians exercising their political rights. They highlight the killings in Naparemba Road. So they made few or more serious highlighted issues than we say don't happen within 2021, where say were paramount to them. One thing I am amazed about now the fact say they don't just give us those information, but they also try for confirm say these are materials that have been verified and proven to be correct. So they're not just publishing this because of hearsay. They not investigate all the evidence of voting and hearsay they talk about right now. So if you look at the document itself, it give you detailed breakdown of voting entails. Because they will not interpret people in words, then they make up put the link, they take your time and read the document yourself. Because if we begin for interpret people in words, then if we begin for talk about things, then if we want to read them line by line, then yes. But otherwise, when we interpret whatever has been written, it might change the interpretation. So I know one can say something where you go read and you say, oh, no, so that they mean. So you read the document, the link is there, and then you make your own judgments whether the U.S. Embassy they lie or whether the U.S. Embassy they listen to them say, whether the U.S. Embassy not gets confirmed information, whether na boku talk with whether na propaganda, whether na right, not to right, then you make that judgment. And then if you're human enough to accept the document, I'm not saying everything that people are saying is correct or everything that people are saying is not true, but you don't have 90% of people saying one thing and you think it is not true. So you are possibly the one in denial, because 90% of the people within your surrounding will not accuse you wrongfully. Because if they do accuse you wrongfully, either they hate you totally and entirely, or there is something very serious about you that people might not know, but those people know it. So you got to make your own judgment and be realistic as a Sierra Leonean. Don't say because it doesn't happen to me, so it is not true. Don't say because not to me, corner this they happen, not to true. But you have to be realistic. Yeah, we not say. Go on,
go ahead.
We not say there is a lot of stories being told, but this is not a story. This is facts. You can only be blind to facts because you're refusing to accept the facts. And refusing to accept the facts means you are mentally disturbed.
Usain at the foresight, one of the major countries the way the president ever go first way after the election.
That's Senegal, West Africa.
No, I mean, like major outside. America is one of.
Oh, China.
They go China, but it come America, right?
Yeah, after some time.
Yeah, but not long. Not long. He came to the United States. He can do a tour. That infamous statue, just for show say don't can America. During the UN summit, he sit down with Bill Gates and tell all the fanciful things and the good things that with the governments they do. He say go lecture at Harvard, for tell them how the country waiting. And then boast for we say the president has been celebrated all over the world as what? As father of democracy, man, we don't bring the country together, blah, blah, blah. I get so much experience. And with president, according to in CV, where we read, now peace and conflict expert. And what peace and conflict they do, now it got to do with protecting the rights of people, right? The human rights of people. And that's what they do. Say, because if one or they, then people they write them, there's a likelihood, say high chances, then go live in peace and the human rights then will be protected. So for things like this, if you look at the executive summary we just highlight, paragraph 2, the last sentence on paragraph 2, they say there were credible reports that members of the security forces committed some abuses. Okay, then you go further on paragraph, you say significant human rights issues included credible reports of unlawful or arbitrary killings by the government, cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment by government or on behalf of government, harsh and life-threatening prison conditions, arbitrary arrest or detentions, serious government corruption, existence of laws criminalizing consensual same-sex sexual conduct between adults, although the laws were not enforced, and existence of the worst forms of child labor. Come back to the same thing where you say, all road leads to the government.
Yep.
And for let them put say significant human rights issues included credible reports, because some people say that it's propaganda, but you have highlight the United States Department, they don't do their own research, they don't find out. So as a government, if you see this kind of thing, what are you supposed to do?
Two things. One, I will go back to the drawing board and evaluate everything about the document. That's one. Two, then I will begin to look at authorities who should be responsible, because some of these investigations are still pending, because they say some of them are still pending. Nothing yet has come back to any major authorities outside Sierra Leone, where they operate in Sierra Leone, for saying, okay, these now findings of that particular incident will not raise concerns over for human rights abuses on XYZZZ, and the findings are here. Look at it. None of that has happened in so many of the cases the way they don't highlight. So it means it's either nothing is going to happen or it's ongoing. I mean, that now one of very few instances the way you make highlighted points on. The other one would be the torture and other cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment or punishment. I remember that incident will be happening at IPAM, where IPAM them go on strike at some point, and then
naked people became.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, let's be real.
Well, I know they see. I don't know. You get filter or something like that.
I don't get filter. Sometimes I don't put filter front me.
Yeah, I don't put filter. I know they see fine.
You see me fine now. I look they go on and off focus, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I think so. Right. So what did they say? Basically, that incident they will be happening after it.
Better now.
We saw it real time, and we see exactly the amount of force where the Sierra Leone police being used on just students. I mean,
you go far. You see, there are incidents that will happen in certain places. The way people let me. You remember Jala University as well.
Yeah.
They go beat people and the police and they curse the students, take stones, send them and threaten and say, if we catch you now, wait till they pass with you now. That have been Jala.
Yeah.
Then you don't mention the IPAM situation. Then we see Lincoln Queen University, then protest. We see what thing happen there as well. And they mention another report here also say in April, that was in 2020, the Sierra Leone police shot and killed an unarmed youth in the capital city of Freetown during a student protest. And all God know that they shoot and kill her.
And then left back with him, both case. No. Investigation still pending because they haven't come up with no report.
So they said they sacked 4 people there, but nothing not happened after that.
Well, they arrest and then then be arrest 4 people where they been investigate, but they've been released and judgment hasn't been passed on them yet.
Oh, yeah. So
that in a pending case will not get for possibly get nothing. No outcome will come out of that.
Mm-hmm.
But one other incident where they make mention of the physical conditions in the prisons of Sierra Leone. I mean, prison capacity is supposed to hold 2,375 inmates, gets 4,430, including 1,289 convicted prisoners. So basically, the remaining 2,000 are not convicted criminals.
Yeah.
When are some of the issues that we bring about the riots will take place now at Pademba Road Prison? So now, think for a minute and put yourself in such situation. You are in the West. Police can arrest you. Imagine, this not you country. You know, get no kind of monopoly rights, saying, "Now you born or now you day or this now you country," but then give you that privilege for not being put into detention after 48 hours without you being charged to court. You will raise all kind of human rights abuse concern. Now take that, put them at the bin, then you reflect back to Sierra Leone. People are on the detention for like 5 years, like convicted criminals. And they still not even tell them, say, you case they come up today. They will just can't tell you, say, oh, you got case yesterday, but you not go, so you not adjourn to another 6 months. Can you imagine? And then you want to talk to you, not a happy person. Sometimes they usually make you go to your prison. Now for only thief, sometimes 1 cup of granite because sometimes you're angry. They go put you in detention for unnecessarily 6, 7, 8 years. Where you find yourself go be missing at some point. But guess what? You find out they go missing because you're the keeper. You'll be amazed when they pull your file. And then tell you when they charge you, and tell you when they go to Pademba, then tell you how long you don't do it for. Because we are just evil to each other. So we got to look at the human rights issues they have. So not because it not happened to you. For make you feel say now rubbish. What's a rubbish? But guess what? There is a lot more to learn about this this particular report. only if you take your own time, read them. We're very poor in reading. I know that very well. Sierra Leoneans, they're not all they read. But let's just take maybe 20 minutes, half an hour of our time and see exactly what's in the essence of this report and what kind of sense you go pick from there. What you go make reality into what you feel say you don't read. Because at the end of the day, we want to be honest to ourselves as Sierra Leoneans. We want to be honest, say human rights abuses, they may happen as alone. We want to be honest for say, how can we combat this? What's in the issues they will get full for face for make we able for say this settle or this reduce? Nothing is going to be eradicated totally and entirely, but at least if we reduce them, it means people will have that confidence to say, well, even if I commit a crime in Sierra Leone, I will be charged and I will be given the right penalty for the crime I commit. But can you imagine that they arrest yourself for make you cause some? They're not criminal. Kuto Road, not to Kuto Road, St. John, just because I say, are you blind? Well, not to me actually say. First thing the next time we say, are you blind, ba? And back with me, so unable for breathe self. I say, Brian never left me. You know that, Abi? So these are things that happens. And sometimes they don't kill you down already. What you got for do nothing? They manage to go back and complain again. Because if they go open fire unlawfully, students the way they strike because of they don't get teachers, for example, then they go to school but they need teach them. It's your right. Don't forget they pay school fee.
Right. So just that thing, when you say so, similar thing here. So may I like for read somewhere say under arbitrary arrest. There were reports of individuals held for questioning without being promptly informed of the reason for the arrest. The Sierra Leone police and the chiefdom police held suspects in detention cells without explanation for up to 3 days for suspected misdemeanor and up to 10 days for suspected felonies. Chiefs sometimes subject both adults and children to arbitrary detention and imprison them unlawfully in their homes or chiefdom jails. So these are the things that really happen. It leads you to the police, it leads you to the anybody them, it leads you to the chief them. All man just they do you and get away with that. Because you roll poor person no more. Just the kind of event. You know, okay. One thing this government do it, you know they had people at the beach, Lumley Beach. Mm-hmm. Okay. As soon as they take over April 4th, 2018, they get some young boys them where they give that they're part of the task force. Then they get a guy on top motorbike, where he puts nerve, hammer, this, that guy they go. So that man not a soldier man, not a policeman, but a government operating. And they mention another report now, so say if government forces them not so that they go commit the crime, but then get agents there. Where we go arrest people. Like how many people hold on? We put the people in the last. If family also they arrest them and take and go then take in phone, wipe all in numbers then come out stay. So those guys now beach them they go and take people their license plates them, number plate that them motor car. Then they watch what they do. So they will just pass number they can and pass the holy force. Then can go. Not tell get lawyer with them go beat up Lester Pick. Mm-hmm. Then beat them boy blue. You know, then kind of put on a cell. So how you go out for say these things are propaganda? The United States Department, the record, the reference, Amnesty International, Human Rights Commission Sierra Leone, and what you call a Human Rights Watch, and other civil society organizations there. So how you go say this now fake? And then they give you date and time and names of the incidents there. You don't see other one?
Let me just highlight one more where I see denial of fair public trial. Mm-hmm. Again, this is not something where not to just the American embassy put that together, but then do also collaborate with the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone. Mm-hmm. You know, it's the constitution and law provide for an independent judiciary observers, including the NGOs, assess that the judiciary maintain relative independence. It is? Are you sure? That's just a question I am asking. In addition to the formal court system, local chieftaincy courts administer customary law with law judges, primarily in rural areas. Appeals from those lower courts are heard by the magistrate court. Paramount chiefs in villages maintain their own police and courts to enforce customary local law. Chieftaincy police and courts exercise authority to arrest, try, and incarcerate individuals. According to the Human Rights Council Sierra Leone, traditional trials were generally fair, but there was credible evidence that corruption influenced many cases, as paramount chiefs acting as judges routinely accepted bribes and favored wealthier defendants. The Human Rights Commission Sierra Leone further reported that traditional authorities charged offenses not within their jurisdictional power and violated the rights of persons when prescribing punishment. Then go hold you for banana weight thief, then put you in detention for 5 years. They don't even charge you.
Your name not even then at the prison register.
Can you imagine that?
So if you get prison away the commoner, they're not sabi address society and they're not sabi.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So how they arrest in the first place when they put in a prison?
Yeah. Say in charge and go court.
Then they left you on probation. They don't even know saying they left you on probation for Go Dae.
Yeah.
They don't know you probation, I guess. So really, are you serious? Because the
last known address.
Last known address unknown.
Not available.
And can you imagine the Inspector General, they go publicly
yes,
and talk, say, I don't know this man address, but he is a wanted man.
Yeah. What about the other one? What's my name again? LAJ.
LAC.
No, not to LAC. LAJ. Remember LAJ?
LAJ, yes. Can you imagine you as officer, not sabi the person you arrest in full name?
Yeah.
You call him my name?
When them do the court paper, they say Abdullah Jallo or Alaji Jallo. So they just manufacture one full of something for and then yeah. So okay, this stuff full of man, this one will fit up. You know, log just like how they measure the PhD degree for people. Like, okay, you say it. Not measure for you. That is PhD that fits you.
What you study?
What you do right now? You'll be a carpenter, okay, they give you PhD in carpentry and woodwork.
But at least then you PhD for something where you don't get some idea on. Like a way you don't get PhD for science and then you're a geographer.
Well, now because they give the PhD, you know, you register today next to my getter. Yeah. So just try to take you close them to dry cleaners. You drop until they collect them in 3 days or 1 week. So yeah, so looking at this report, the government feel really embarrassed. And I feel so president need for refund the money.
You need for what? You
need for refund the country money.
The country money? How?
Because if they fly with the per diem ticket for go clean the country image, then now this kind of report we get.
No, international.
From the people the way you fly from the country the way you fly to for go clean with image, but we get this kind one. We don't dirty the country image. Because imagine now, when I tell, where are you from? I say from Sierra Leone. Then somebody go Google Sierra Leone, then this report comes. Say, so in a country, so they are lawless, in a country, they kill people, they don't respect human rights. No. Juma, they can't tell me, say, I'm going to a country. No, I'm not going to go there. Well, one government official, the gap one, nobody say, look, I arrest all man.
Well, I won't be surprised if you say like the president return the country money, but I think say the work where he go for good for clean country image now outside of Sierra Leone, not to inside Salon. So we not say inside Salon does see.
So I don't know country image you go clean.
Well, no, we don't know how outside Salon does see because you know what clean.
Okay. So we get inside Salon and outside Salon.
Of course. We image where it is time for clean, not so inside Salon. No. Now outside Salon, where we don't know what we don't do. So we have committed a lot of crimes outside of Sierra Leone, and the president needs to polish that and make sure that we not get no stain outside Sierra Leone. We make it reach out to all the countries there. So, but inside Salon is dirty past outside Salon. So how you gonna go clean inside your house? You go clean other man in house because the person with inside your house therefore go visit that other man in house. So you know I mean they look the person with bad eye. Where they go visit. Come on, are you real? So I'm thinking, okay, if it's a that's one, I rocket science, but it isn't. It's basic, simple ideology. Because if you look at the issues that we decide from maintain outside Sierra Leone, as in human rights abuse or as in corruption, it is embedded within the souls of us Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone. And then we go try for clean them outside Sierra Leone. Which sense that make? If you're not clean, you owe now the money you owe you go clean. So I think personally is the wrong priorities, because if we have the right priorities and we have the straight priorities in terms of what we want to do as a nation, we don't cleanse ourselves first before we begin member for cleaning the country outside of Sierra Leone. Because if we come to clean, you don't have to be worried about what happens outside Sierra Leone, because that means the clean image of your household will follow you wherever you go. Because if you clean and you also you're going to take your food, you put on the main dining table. No, because you don't do that at home. But for the fact that we practice it at home, it's as bad as anything. Everywhere we go, we leave our footprint. And with footprint is evidence of what we do. And the evidence of the footprint of the president flying all over the world don't manifest itself. Because at the end of the day, if where they go ask for funding, and then the funding, go they get from the people who go the funding, they tell you, say, sorry, you have to clean your house. And I'm giving you money to clean your house, but your house is not clean. What are you coming to tell us? The campaign story to be we will not see they happen inside your own country. What's the realistic judgment on that? So we've got to be honest. Now go back to one of the issues that we have to say paramount: corruption and lack of transparency in government. Somebody would ask Ellen at the chat group saying, well, we don't get so many reports from EU, for MMC, and now the American embassy. So who do we believe? Decide. You have all the evidence.
But the report them consistent.
No, when I say decide, because you have all the evidence in front of you.
Yeah.
Read all the evidence. If there is no, if they're not linked or interlinked with each other, you make a decision. But I will not tell you what to believe, bro. Right. You have to read those documents and you make the comparison whether then they get any kind link, then synchronize, then get similar kind of statements, then get the same kind, like the same language, then the issues the way they highlight all the issues, and then all in 3 different documents in there. And how did they highlight those issues? What's in the differences in how they make the statement then? Because like I said earlier on, I won't be able to interpret the report. I will read it word for word as I see it. And then you make up your mind, because when I begin interpreting, now mere words you just see. I might miss it or you might think otherwise. So the document is there. You have the evidence in front of you. Take your time if you have so much interest. Read all the 3 documents that you have in front of you if you have them all, and then you make a comparison. And believe in what you feel say right. Because otherwise, we are not here to convince you. No, we just highlighting it.
Yeah. So it's we don't give it talking point them for figures, certain things.
Not to convince you. Because I'm not here to convince you anyway.
Because this is not a story. Nothing that will happen before we are. The Cameroon arrest, for example. Cameroon was being arrested, locked up for what you call them, child molestation charges, right?
Yeah.
But you never accusation. Nameka say, accused of. You understand? Nameka say allegation. So if you don't think that person you don't lock him for the duration we don't lock him, 30 days you're not able to try him and get enough evidence for convict him or free him. But you lock and the person in health they deteriorate. People they don't talk, they don't do all kinds of things. Only for let you grant some bail, but then you seize them. You grant the person bail, but you still keep an prison. Say on paper, I don't grant you bail, but they still get the power because you go put stiff bail condition where sometimes the person not go able for me. And they highlight another report. So you see, they come back to the judiciary. The judiciary they institute bail condition the way they know say people are not going to meet up, So in a way, you don't want to grant them the bail. You're just saying it for satisfy waiting in a paper. The person sick, you can't go na 34 hospital now. You change until the day. You know, they get treatment. So for Kengo person hospital go put a abandon na bed where they chook post where sometimes the bed they sink. It's a way to say, you know, let's torture this person here. Let not die inside prison. Because if you die inside prison, we will get bad name. But they fail to understand that Mohamed Kamarimba is still there under their custody. He is still a prisoner, you know, that is not under the custody of the state. So it's not a free. So can't go for can't go at 34. You put on the open window outside, you get pneumonia. You know, allow visitation. You know the Twitter, you get one cut in Lapa when I then take cover or get for type or lady by himself. What's the difference? Popular inside Padembago.
Well, the difference to me, now publicity stunt still don't release them because it makes no sense. I mean, Kamarimba is a very good example. I mean, they highlighted political arrest, unlawful political arrest, unlawful political harassment, unlawful political killings, aligned killings. So these are all some of the political issues that they highlight. So if we take Kamarimba for an example, somebody has been accused of committing a crime. Yes, we agree. You are accusing someone of committing a crime. Fine. What is the crime? You said rape. Okay, no problem. Now, are you going to charge that person to go to court and face the consequences of the crime you commit? Yes. Not so. That's it for being normally.
Yeah.
Now, let's take Kamarimba as not being a politician, for example. So it not just don't happen to Kamarimba because not a politician, or because it don't happen to so many other civilians, they're not politicians.
Right. Example, when you are where then go to Lima, where on a cleaning day, then shoot up, now police shoot up.
Yeah.
But they still arrest her and crime gonna Pademba Road in foot they got it.
That's a victim being arrested for a crime being against him. Can you imagine that? So sometimes in the world they talk about human rights abuse, put yourself in the position. Put yourself in the position. We've seen people being tortured. You never know what it's like for being tortured. Now for like you woman or you man tell you no more say, so God you need to sleep now today. Under normal circumstances, you guys you possibly have an argument and then one partner say, you know what sleep now today, if you answer me. And then begin to torment you. You know what sleep? God, you can answer me. And the same thing. Why begin talking about say you want sleep? And they laugh because I know why they laugh. So basically, what do? You get really frustrated.
Yeah.
Frustrated, annoying, tormenting, harassment, and you flip and react. Okay, that's you in a real situation. Now put yourself in a situation that you have no control over. What do? Will you be the same person? Because sleep deprivation is one of the most difficult things they can put to you, as in torturing you. Not physically torturing you with their hands or causing any harm, but they're torturing your mental state, your brain, your cycle. They're making you think like you're mad. You don't have to sleep. You know what it is like to be forced not to sleep? Imagine that they force you for sleep. And now they force you not for sleep. So we've seen all of these things happening in Sierra Leone. Can you imagine if they will put somebody in some kind of confinement where you can't even turn? You don't even have a proper toilet system within your own prison cells, and you're meant to be sentenced for maybe 5 years. 5 years, that is where you're going to live your life, cramped. With a four square wall, maybe on a 15. We're not even do for make you one live. So if
but just ask somebody, say, let them just confide it to you and chair no more than confine it to you. Just then at this you chair na day for 2 weeks.
Because if you watch most prisoners who come on a Panama old prison, their body is full of rash. Because that is the kind of situation and environment they put there. No form of human rights consideration a convicted criminal is not a condemned criminal. It's not a condemned human being.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's not a condemned person. It's not a condemned human being. So if you've been convicted,
the prisoner still gets right.
Of course.
The prisoner still gets right.
Of course.
But then, whose one was? Now, with everything we don't highlight, so I will let people then close the eye them for 5 seconds and just imagine this situation, like how T-Boy say. What does it? If you are close me, if you eye, what do you feel like for let somebody force you for sleep, somebody force you not for sleep, then put you inside one place, then early morning, T-Boy, early morning, lucky are you, early morning, already yeah, then you hear a gunfire. You see smoke. You sell lock. You hear rapid firing. Rapid firing. 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever the time is. Thousands of people. How many people have they said been in that prison there at the time? About 3,000 plus, right?
4,000 plus.
4,000 plus. Yeah. And the whole prison place is the capacity of 2,000 people, right?
Yeah.
So over 100% excess. Mortal man, they not to fly them all. Now mortal man, they are the day inside yonder. Not to pigeon. Mortal, not so you buy them, not so that you buy them at cotton tree. Where they fly go na morning and fly cannon and no. Now mortal man, they like me and you. Some of these people are people away until we grow up with where we sabi, or now we neighbor them, or now we fumble themselves. They just go open firing by them people and they don't even know what things may happen. But we had people, maybe they justify the reasons for letting them go shoot at people. And who are the people that go shoot? Now the reports don't prove them. Maybe they say, some people they say, oh, na propaganda. But the report don't prove and say, na state operatives there.
State operations, yeah.
Them people na presidential guard them.
Yeah.
Now the one they guide the president. When the president they pass, we want, they one and they. So now the best of the best, when you go say you elite force system, now then they unleash. And who that they give the orders for go? Not so nobody but the president. Now the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Then send them people and say, now go up in fire, kill anybody in indiscriminate shooting. So imagine you then you all share your family, una sit down, they una window open, then people then fence stone, they una just say stone and the guy say pa, stone. Remember first all they say stone devil. Gravel, they just begin send up. Then you get you picking them. You know whether that stone will hit you picking a boss or a boss somebody or a cripple somebody. So just imagine, step back a little bit and say now not to stone this now gunfire. Then they shoot, not to one person, people enjoy they shoot. Random. But you don't know whose side the shot they come on. So side they run for go hide first. These are prisoners. But what's in the card and say they were overthrow government. Or they were for free palo content. The story changed. The Minister of Information can own 11 people left. Oh, now COVID them they demonstrate against. Oh, now this person they go broke that cell day. All of a sudden, we see them go bury people, picking them, people weft them, people man them, people brother them, people sister them. Then go bury them some side. 30 them family no know whether them person still there inside prison or he don't die. Because they are not allowed visitation anyway. So you don't even know whether a person don't die or he's still in a prison. They just take them and go bury them. They will see them corpse them from other side. That are the most absurd thing what I ever hear in a salon. Say, oh, now people the way they die in a street. See boy, when are the last time when you begin see Papa in a salon? He don't say.
Don't say.
Where Papa die in a salon. We all man, the one who conflict on the know. Say, Papa died.
This might die, Papa.
This person died by 43. The news the worker say Papa died. How 80 Papa then go die in the country? Nobody no. They would decide to go bury them all the same thing.
And a mass grave too. Possibly unmarked mass grave.
Unmarked mass grave. Papa they wanna go put them there. Because Papa can don't try for such. Una they keep at it because space not there. We are not going inside mortuary. Almost space where they inside it. Where they go keep people there. And the timing, when I told them people put in a body bag, go through with it. Hey.
Okay, let me do a reverse psychology. Some of us are Sierra Leoneans living in the UK for maybe 20 years. Some of us were born here, some of us were not. And some of us don't get the privilege for kind of London and get what? British and American or European passport, right? Do we have the right to those passports? Do we have the right to say, no, we're not going to give it to you? The rights of those passports were given to us just because of few reasons. Either we are married to one of the citizens of this country or wherever you are, or you've lived in that country for so long and then you can have the right to apply for citizenship. Now, let's do a reverse psychology. We're talking about Sierra Leone here now in terms of the discrimination, racial discrimination or ethnic violence. Yeah? So now, basically, these people, they're very clever in what they do. Then break down Sierra Leone into all the issues that we comprises of human rights abuse all over the world. They systematically put them together and identify them and then respond and put a report together on those particular issues. Now, this one reads, there were laws to protect racial and ethnic minorities from violence or discrimination. Authorities enforce these laws. So who are the authorities? The people who are meant to be enforcing these laws, i.e. government officials, the police, and possibly the military force if needed. Strong ethnic loyalties, bias, and stereotypes existed among all ethnic groups. Ethnic loyalty was an important factor in the government, armed forces, and business. Complaints of ethnic discrimination in government appointment and contract assignments were common. Little ethnic segregation was apparent in urban areas where inter-ethnic marriages was common. Residents of non-African descent faced some institutionalized discrimination, particularly in the areas of citizenship and nationality. The government made some efforts to address discrimination, such as equal access to education, medical care, employment, and credit. The government made limited efforts to address discrimination and bias against lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or intersex persons of members of the Rastafarian religious sect. So basically, they not left nothing behind. Yeah. So discrimination is key, but you can tell how realistic they are in their findings. They're not saying government is bad all the way through. They are trying to make things work. They're trying to fix certain areas, but certain areas are deliberate. Nothing is being done to actually fix those because it is deliberate. So then they still start for teach we and tell we say, yes, you guys are una possible to think, but you're not rationalized una thinking. And when you rationalize your thinking, it means you're giving everybody the equal platform to be able to live and survive. Equal opportunities. So you only select things that you think are important. Yes, you highlight and you make so much noise about it. And the most important ones, you ignore it totally. Now, what's make I bring this camp up? Now, there's been issues of dramatic events, tragic events that has happened in Sierra Leone over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've never had any formal statement from the leader or the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone to highlight some of those issues in a positive manner. Without
let me say in a positive way, once except once where it called people and said them as terrorists. That was the only time.
Is that positive?
No, now make I say I'm glad when you say positive because now that end account are you with. For say, one semi-hard, yes, but
most of the comment that he's making towards the citizens of Sierra Leone is either challenging or making comparison to himself or people around him.
Or mockery of the people.
Well, yeah, in a way. So to me, if you know you hear any kind of form of statement, even Usai Boris Johnson go a couple of days ago, not so Ukraine. Can you imagine how bad Ukraine is for now? How dangerous it might be? You can possibly walk into some kind of mines or you walk into some kind of nuclear bomb. And Boris has nothing to do in Ukraine because not a Ukrainian, but now just neighbor where if you say he gets concerned over whether it's for any kind of personal interest or not. But he take that risk and realize, say, I have to go and see these guys. And now look at real president. It don't even take an hour if you drive with in convoy for go now certain areas then where crimes have been committed against the citizens of that particular country or that particular town. And you can't even make that effort.
No, but see, boy, for me, the president will go in there man extra effort, okay? Say, okay, let me go for show, say, I mean, the papa for this country, father of the nation, as I can say. But for let you not even recognize, acknowledge, and even make a statement, it's unimaginable. Now, we presidents no more will do that. You understand what I mean? You they will kill people them. For when you not talk nothing. Nothing you not talk. Before I went to see now the vice president, I go they say that they can't be there, they can't on the they can't on the prison shopping mall. What a mockery!
They can't on the shopping mall.
They say that they broke the prison, they move the prison go outside. It's on the shopping mall.
Well, okay. You see, some of their statements they have to me honestly. The area that way they come up from for me the last point of possibly reaction what we get from anybody. Okay, so you want for turn now like they say you go turn Twin Towers to a playground.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
A fun park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you imagine outside they don't kill people? Outside people they don't suffer the worst of their lifetime. Now then you have to back and
people left the some man them bundle left.
Imagine some man them body then that gone, some man them skin there, some man them sweat blood and glory, all then at that particular environment state. I will not feel comfortable to even walk in there, even if it's a park, because it should be a monumental area where you for actually go there and reflect on some of the atrocities that will not happen at that particular place. If you turn out to some kind thinking park safe, I will understand. If you turn out for some kind reflecting museum, I will understand. If you turn out to some kind institution of human rights concern where they go use as offices, I go understand. But a supermarket mall, so you bringing joy to people's misery. Come on, let's be realistic. A proper thinking person. Not to take Panama Road prison internal to mall, super mall.
But we are president, we were thinking, say, oh, I not be aware, and the first time this I don't hear anybody. We president. Now they will talk about the judicial reform. Oh, I not don't know about this person that they ask me these questions on our public. But this president say he's been tried and tested. He know the problems and issues of Sierra Leone, and he will come, he can't fix them, he will hit the ground running. These issues, he was listening to this soundbite, yeah?
Okay.
And this one may not possibly sound like a align with what we talk about right now. But I just want to let you see the mockery, how the president they refer to certain demographic now in society. Listen, yeah.
The best way to happen away plant chop and then bear fruits and they eat them. That make they encourage every Sierra Leonean. Maybe they plant to potato leaf, maybe they plant with before craft, move the plant everything made in abundance. So that's with that top with service market the top. Me a hang here. We go left for the talk because we able to plant like this.
Okay. I saw that video, and to be honest,
you saw it, right?
Yeah. When I see the video, the president
comedy business.
No, the president never stops to amaze me. Honestly, he never stops to amaze me. Sometimes you think it's funny, but I think even when you wake, they wake you and sleep. Even like I don't give one. Even Yusuf Jallo, I'll make him as an example.
The cow footprints.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even Yusuf Jallo, the cow footprints. We put a program together in Kamakuye. Eat what you grow. Yeah. In Kamakuye, we get the vast land. We get everything there for grow their own crops and eat it. In Kamakuye, just that small portion of Sierra Leone. Then they struggle for meet that demand. We then get everything. But then they buy imported rice, then they buy imported Maggi, then they buy imported yabas, then they buy almost imported everything for cook. That's not Kamakuye. We used to Fujaro, or just ordinary man from Kamakuye. They put something together where you call eat what you grow. It is struggle for make that work. And then the president's old first. Now, they also have said
Kokumba, I think.
Kokumba. Okay, you old Kokumba. It's Kokumba. The staple food in Sierra Leone. Cucumber is luxury in Sierra Leone because not so everybody they pull 1,000 yuan and buy cucumber. It's luxury in Sierra Leone.
Even when we eat cucumber gone soup, we not get my buy again.
Now they say so now luxury as alone.
Yeah.
So
I don't know when last time we eat cucumber gone soup.
So we know they eat cucumber gone soup and I'm gonna go kill her. Now you know for sure. If you don't try it before.
In the not made for that.
No, because
in the not condition for that.
Femi, answer back. You don't eat cucumber gone soup from the last time we eat na CCN TV.
You want to give me back for how long?
Go on.
All right. We dey get Femi just now they can't respond. Femi, can you hear us?
Juma Jeremy.
I hear you loud and clear.
Juma Jeremy.
Loud and clear.
Tiboyon. I know I'm beginning with Tiboyit. Anyway, he asked me a question. When I said don't answer him, he said I know one day time, but he talk just not say from the last 7 we eat up.
Yeah.
Now CCN TV. So
yes.
I said don't answer, so I don't eat him. But you know, on that serious note, there, I want to throw a challenge to Unaltu. Anyway, first of all, if I'm alone, I thank you on joining me. Thank you for joining us. And they listen to them 2 guys who they talk. Boku. Anyway, so challenge to Unaltu, and then something possible go open out to the rest of the viewers. What's in the interpretation of Pujeun?
Go ahead.
Tell me how they challenge you the tempo. Go ahead. Wait now, Pujeun. Pujeun. Give me the meaning.
Interpretation of Pujeun?
Yes. Give me the meaning of Pujeun.
Me no.
Pujeun na put more. Na mende word.
So you see, the marriage sabi mende don't.
Correct.
Well, una ask the audience, then I will come give una the answer.
But the comic Pujeun, where Asabi na doing the war. This is not funny, but I'm just cracking a joke because that is exactly what it used to be like back in the days.
No, forget we get back to with President this in comment too.
Yeah, it gets for do with the comments. Okay. It get for do with the comments. So now tell us the interpretation of Pujeun. Tell me what you mean. Tell me what you mean. Call you mean the fumble there. Ask what you mean.
When Tiboy say they say put more.
No, put more. Now I don't know if that's the guy's meaning, but Pujeun.
Okay, Pujeun na pepe. Okay, Pujeun na pepe.
Thank you. Udadari na forget award. You see, Creole boy like me, they can't teach una. Tibo na half mindio. Tibo na half mindio. You don't even know safe. Anyway, Juma, Tiboy. Then say na pujeu. They know the go pepper day.
Okay, why?
Because if you go pepper na pujeu, they go put on a ear, isn't it?
No, but how you go get place where they name Pepe, where they know the go Pepe?
So why they know the go Pepe?
Me no know. I'm saying the county boys see we staple meal. We know the go anasalo.
Right.
So
and then you plan the for it.
Low begin think now of land with the name after Pepe. Inside this safe they know the go Pepe day. There's a problem in Sierra Leone.
It would be nice to find out why.
We they think saying a joke with the pan, but now seriousness with the talk. If we never go Pepe na Pujao, we never go rest na Sierra Leone. Where is our country going?
But me exactly. But me na the mockery way the presidents make Spanish service. When the service man they me angry. You understand? It makes comedy back Spanish. It talk like Sarah the to laugh there back here. So say no be a year fancy boy. This one you need for a year. Femi, you hear him? Listen that last part. You know, listen.
The best way to happen away plant chop.
The plants chop.
In the beer fruits they eat them. That make they encourage every Sierra Leonean. Maybe the plant with potato leaf, maybe the plant with okra, maybe the plant everything made in abundance. So that talk where the service market they talk. Me are hungry for the talk because
we then service. So the service man the way can dance for us. The service man the way vote for us. The service man the way then they send us task force out there for go brutalize people there. Now then same service by with that service right here. Yeah, hungry. It makes comedy back out of the team.
Juma, to be honest, I think it's a very serious matter because at the end of the day, cucumber not a staple food, and you make mention. The president make mention of say grow okra, yeah. But again, live by what?
Example.
Simple. Do we have anything like that in his backyard? Do we have anything like that he goes every other weekend to forcibly hang out and do stuff? We saw a propaganda, well, not propaganda, we saw a video where the president they put together a farm. How many acres?
It's a propaganda because it's harvested.
I don't understand propaganda. I cannot say so. No. I don't see it because we don't go Vietnam for go green camp. We don't rest. So basically, the one who don't plan a salon at Vietnam will go harvest at green camp. But all I'm saying is, live by example. In Rwanda, Kigali live by example. He only has a car, no convoy. So if Elon gets a car, no convoy, who don't know if you can get convoy being you? He flies not with a private jet. He flies economy. So when are you minister for go fly business? So basically, he lives by example. Boris Johnson, when he was a mayor in London, he rode a bike to work. So when you start to complain about congestion, sorry, jump on your bike. It keeps you fit, and at the same time, you go to work, you get there on time. So if you're not there before him, and you complain about congestion, he's riding his bike. So he lives by example, because he wants to get to work on time. So I will not live by my word and do something different. I will not say something and then I interpret it in a different way. Let me say Kokuma na salon and luxury. Because even when you're going to market Kokuma, they buy you one corporate. So where you go spend up a Kokuma? Kokuma na salon and luxury. What do you prefer for grow? Kokumba or yes? Kasala or kokumba? Okra. How many people eat okra? If you're not a Creole, we're specifically for Israel every Sunday. Panfufu. Femina look me not to talk about. But that's just the reality. The reality of what they say. Because these are not normal commodities the way they buy in the market like that. If we okra self was he asked for see. So can you imagine When you lay down there with the sell fufu and okra, the okra now more or less what's in the sell you cannot okra. Now you don't know what you see. The okra itself, when inside that particular okra soup, they only reach 4. So okra now some kind of expensive veg na salon. You expect us to grow okra in Sierra Leone? You expect to for grow cucumber in Sierra Leone? You expect
you know, you cannot just dictate to people.
No, but Juma, it doesn't satisfy your hunger. That's the point I'm making.
Forget that one. For me, I see them as mockery. You dey mock people, you dey provoke, and you specific that thing with them serviceman and can say, me angry. That you dey talk say because the serviceman are angry, not because your government not able to provide for them, now because they're lazy.
Juma, listen. They say for tell you say they need a plant chop.
When I mean just hey, you say when you plant chop,
now crop then you plant, not to chop.
So when you say you plant chop,
now message them.
Now let me say, they are big. See if you're able to play this video or because people are not.
Now for talk to family play the video.
Yeah, Mr. Palmer, if you're able to play this video, will be nice. You say, what you call it? Yeah, I think I don't send it to you also. You say, like email also. You say, what you call it? When you plant the chop, then the chop yield fruit.
No, but you see, when you compare this to the amounts of human rights concerns, to me, it just highlights the lack of concern of the human.
You know, that is the reason. So imagine this sometimes for me like a minor thing, right?
Yeah.
But it just show you thought process, like when you say you rational when they do things.
Exactly.
You know, are you doing this because you want to inspire people to go into green revolution and plant and grow, or you are doing this to show off that now you're living large, you can eat chop that you backyard where you plant, then you provoke the young people them, say they're lazy. But you call these young people to now make you call them tomorrow for go dance for you. Now make them carry and go do, then say them they open waska.
Yeah, obviously that's not the level of entry that they don't put to the youths of Sierra Leone. That's the level. Yeah. So if the entry level for the youths of Sierra Leone are Kawash, what is the upgraded version?
Right. So if you don't make mockery of people and want this way able to do, what about the one that way your government, cannot say specifically, but your government where you they supervise order for go do mass killing at Pademba. Things and they happen. No one says anything, but you refer to your citizens as terrorists. The government where they refer to in citizens them as terrorists. But then you they go out here and see they go clean the country image. But you the president, now you say you people in a terrorist force.
Well,
George, I don't know. Say just want to ask what is chop or if
chop money now. Now chop money now for eat.
You know, so he say if I'm
president all the talk Nigeria now. You the chop, huh?
No, he say something I mistake. The president will say crops.
No, not chop. Maybe. How you can't say a mistake? Please. Yeah. Femi the for play the video for me. Let you see the lip sync. Chop. Crop. Chop money. You chop man. Chop now. What's in with again? You see, bad influence.
You not get chop.
No. If you're influenced by the so-called elite of the world, your language is going to not be the same as you're influenced by the of the world. And then they make
see, but like what you can say, you see. I don't know if now God
can what I can say, not give me trouble.
Wait, now listen, I don't know if now God can come up here. People on a Satan they come up before them. Because this video was meant for what?
Stunts. That's all I will say. Yeah.
Exactly. A stunt video for show say the president you know, I they spending time in a garden, in the plants, in the bees, in the dicey. But then look how the thing come out.
Well, again, it's down to protocols.
Well, that's again
when you have because again, the president is not just a citizen. He's a senior. He's the most senior citizen in the country. Everything that he touches or say or do is policy.
Exactly.
Regardless how you look at it. Yeah. So whatever the situation might be, before that video come out to the public, somebody should have vet that video and analyze it like how they talk about it. And so because it's coming from the president's recording device, regardless who did the recording. But and he actually posed for the camera because
and it's not he and other people.
No, it's just him
alone. One stand alone.
Exactly.
You know, then a camera, face to camera, voice to camera. Emotion tell them una ready.
Jima.
Yeah.
Now the first statement that we make before the program starts.
What's right?
The torment of social media.
Yeah.
Real time.
Real time.
It's censored. So basically, that might be a real time video. And if not real time, not going to be censored. But again, if we link this up to the human rights concerns that they raised, it just shows the level at which the president, they rationally think about the citizens of Sierra Leone. How it equates them to a cucumber. We're going to make them say, I'm not angry again. That's the equivalent of how he thinks people should be able to survive in Sierra Leone through cucumber or staging.
How many young men get backyard? You get to say una plant now una backyard. How many people will get backyard? So man, now many almost people already sleep inside one room. Now some man a corner he gets na a room corner, small side. Now they get. So man a market table. In a parent, me and you and the Sierra media team not don't do a documentary about the living with the
dead.
Living with the dead. But now most man the way they are alive, not net.
Yeah.
Family will not the watch. PZ. That cement gone before they shop. So all the then side and the people pay at night.
Yeah.
For sleep day. Then they pay rent.
They pay for the spots. Yeah.
So they pay for the spots. Then they pay to police them for letting them arrest them for loitering. Because they will say now, what you call it, the loiter and net and all that. Police can kind of and can arrest them and go. So they pay to the police, then they pay to serviceman there.
It's not just a payment, it is an institution on its own at night.
Yeah. A whole family.
Properly run institution. Then get chief, then get a man. It is an institution. Imagine homeless people. They sleep near the pavement of shops there when they don't close at 12. They run their institution there. Then they take class for picking them. They get lesson for them picking them where they go to school. Then get 10 where they begin to go sleep. Then get 10 where you party this. Then they actually invigilate everything that happens. It's a structured community on its own. Can you imagine that in Sierra Leone? Freetown. Wow.
Middle after 12.
Amazing. Sometimes when you have the focus lens in front of you, the amount of things you see is unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
So people parents,
make I say documenting some of these things is nice. Because at the end of the day, when we have those factual evidence of things that happens in Sierra Leone, whether it be human rights abuse or any kind of form of abuse, it's on record. And for as long as you're able to put them on records, you're able to explain things and you visually interpret them to people. What we can do right now for play that video because it is on record. It is on record via audio and video. So basically, you don't have to say to me, now fix them. It might be fixed. We don't know. But we all know how President Bill looked like how no more Dr. Lai talk last week say, I let you see I'm fine at that.
Aye, yeah, he recognize
to identify because he gets a unique figure. Agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree to that. So we got to begin look at certain different apparatus that within government systems when they work in the benefit of the citizens of Sierra Leone in terms of their rights.
Let me say before we give it thumbs up.
Their rights to sleep, their rights to eat, their rights to say things that they think is necessary need to be said. I don't think abusing authority makes sense, but at the same time, you have the right to challenge authorities. Let them prove to you what they are saying is correct. You have the right to ask questions. Let them answer your question. Can you imagine yesterday I went online and see the Deputy Minister of Information? They teach me history. Can you imagine that? And I'm thinking, we didn't get time. Really get time, but they walk, you guys sit down and set up a whole program as the Deputy Minister of Information. They talk to me, but something not really relevant. That is about 4 hours or 3 hours government money spent unlawfully. When you just go on Google, you do research and you get all that information there. Now you can reenact to me like for say is something new. Is that new? How can that benefit government operations? I don't understand how these guys work. Like Dr. Lai make mention last week, how can you have the Ministry of Information holding press conference every single day in Sierra Leone? Every single day. But it failed for highlight the human rights abuse the way they happen at Salon as the Minister of Information. So those information has been held separately from what it is time for do press briefing on. I don't understand.
But then the vex where people are all the social media briefing, then the vex.
So. What did they do? I don't understand what did they do. Who's briefing? Did they highlight issues?
I mean, the way people are all social media briefing for updates to the people that they happen at the country, then they vex, they say then they sabotage the government. No one is sabotaging.
For just do propaganda. Propaganda press briefing every single day. Watching when they talk about so where they happen at Salon where they change every day. No.
Well,
I think please give some idea.
Well, listen, the president here.
Yeah,
already. Over to you, Femi.
Femi,
I watch the video. 30 seconds.
Femi, put her on a loop for 2 minutes so it will last long.
Yeah.
The best way can happen now we plant chop and then the bear fruits and you eat them. That make they encourage every Sierra Leonean. Maybe they plant with potato leaf, maybe they plant with okra, maybe they plant everything made there in abundance. So that's with that talk with the service market they talk. Me are hungry, we go left for the stock because we able plant and this. The best way can happen now we plant chop and then the bear fruits and you eat them. That make they encourage every Sierra Leonean. Maybe they plant with potato leaf, maybe they plant with okra, maybe they plant everything made there in abundance. So that's with that talk with the service market they talk. Me are hungry, we go left for the stock because we able plant and this.
Well, so family na the short clip that not so we say na the president say. So una don't see, una don't hear it for una self, una don't see how he demonstrates in mannerisms, everything. See boy.
Man, not like you.
Man, not like I'm angry.
Well, glad you to go glad nobody is
So he used the other hand. It's still not guiding. Yeah. He makes tired.
You know why I think this good? Because sometimes we talk and talk and talk, but I also believe that many people don't have access to some of these realities that happens in Sierra Leone. Fact. And even me, something that can be, what's happened? This happened, no, not possible. Show me the evidence. Let's see. Now watch. Now assess. And make me evaluation. So I saw this video a couple of days, I think yesterday or so, and I'm thinking, really? But I wasn't too sure what he was holding. I know he knows like Okuma, say, but it's like Okuma. I just this wife's image. They don't pin up for fine, but he not guarantee say he eat a more because they're not sure I eat. Because they just feel up. Again, I can always say with 10 government videos that's what they come out, I always want to see what happened before and after.
Right.
Also, just this number I want to see. I want to see what happened after. Sometimes you go take a secretary and gone. So I want to see what happened after or before. So I go make my own proper judgment. So most times when I receive these videos, I say, oh yeah, cool, that's fine, no problem. You get any more of what happened after this event or this incident? Sometimes they send it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they send me the full version. But with this, now just physical evidence for say, is this the real priority of what the president wants citizens of Sierra Leone to engage in? Fine, if that is what it is, when he puts in flagship program for agriculture, are these some of the crops that he highlighted that should be grown in Sierra Leone? Or this is just something that he's doing on the side? Because whatever you're doing on the side should be your primary objective for people to follow. Whatever you're doing, like I said earlier on, anything you do, you say, you actually put anything in the public as the leader of the nation, you're making a policy statement. So basically, I want to know whether on the agricultural projects where now the one of the agendas of the do you want to the document? Manifesto way possible in everything.
Yeah.
What's in that the highlighted crops them when are the priority? Because I don't see how cucumber could satisfy me hunger if I'm hungry. If I complain say man they hungry, I don't see how say they satisfy me hunger. For me, they say me hungry. I don't see how okra they satisfy me hunger. For me, I say me and pass if I go sell them. But how many people they within the community will able to afford for buy cucumber anyway? For make able for make that money day. If you watch the cucumber in a way in salon, it don't so wither because it don't in stand for long. Not everybody buys it. So basically, you only have influential Sierra Leoneans or foreign experts the way they go do shopping at salad gone once in a while. Or
so you go salad gone to road or Hillcourt Road Junction.
So you got specific area that you go know for say you want find cucumber that really gets up. Because these are the targeted areas the way they feel say people of diplomatic rights or people that really have some kind of high end within the community live. So they either pick up this
where you can go offline, where they can't fit on. Where people like you say send from which they send from where they stop na region
priority na charcoal na one.
Charcoal, yes.
Two cassava or potato.
Yeah.
It done.
Right.
Or pepper because pepper dey na fit on.
Yes. Or planting something. Planting now say better buy na fit on.
Planting there offline self, I agree. You know, so joke because when you use Nagbere Junction, then they count all things that begin select. Okay, I want cassava. You want the cassava? And the bad one will boku. But cassava, you can cham them, you can boil them, you can roast them. So basically, these are basic stuff that you can just pick up on the way where you travel to the provincial towns, then coming back to the Freetown. But the priority of people traveling from the provincial towns to Freetown, na charcoal. So man they load charcoal in convertible. So man they load charcoal in
charcoal for mine.
So man they load charcoal because what you do, that's not the most important commodity where you need in Freetown because you have for cook.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get charcoal, you then live possibly an average life because not all everybody get electric cooker or gas cooker. Well, now it is good that everybody, or not everybody, but More than a handful of working class can afford to have a gas cooker in their houses, which is good. So things are changing rapidly, slowly. Again, that will be good for the environment because at the end of the day, we'll be able to maintain sanity within the environment smoothly. But to be honest to you, I think the human rights issues they're reading as alone, they're very much so plenty. Pasmak tete to begin for content, we need able for even sit down for begin access because it's just all over the place. And look, we'll not forget to say it is still a concern. The concern that I'm going to, even though in 2021, this report they talk about incident that don't know whether happened already inside 2022. Apparently, there was an incident even yesterday.
Yeah, so
in where? So these are not things that we should just take lightly. And somebody made mention of some of the things that really happen within different communities then and how authorities in control they react to those different communities. Why should that happen? Why should that happen? I mean, we don't get riot in Abo, we don't get riot in Makeni, riot in Kenema, riot in Kailang. But let's look at the death rate of all these riots in all these different areas. What's in surpass in company? What's in the way they happen at different areas and way more than what's in the happen at the areas than we possibly are of concern. So let's face the reality of all of these things because some thinking even as salon unruly. Oh, the people don't allow for me to rule them. They're still in opposition and they're still stressed. Or then they come on.
Then they bad at.
You know how many times we don't join protest march there with SLPP when they're in opposition? I've never been even stopped by any police officer for saying you didn't cross this boundary. Never. Because guess what? We have the freedom to protest then. We can go all out and do all kinds of protests. I have been on protest march with 90% of possibly the government minister they're in Salon right now. So what's the big deal? What's the big deal?
So let we put, this thing where the president talk about, say people for go plant in abundance. Not to them finger and they get for go cut and go plant. So don't ask me, specify, say let people in plants in their backyard. Almost people get backyard na season. So man, they are joining way get the landlord they fetch for bill, other are joining the back middle. Let face me and face you. For let make more money. They go tell us if for go plant. Who say they go plant we not to get the place for. This law try for be specific with freedom. And if they talk about upline, the tractors them where them say they get to not see nothing. Now the president they go Vietnam, they're not afraid God. God, they say when Vietnam get the same history because Vietnam didn't get war, we say get war. So we go learn how Vietnam come up and then war, then become food self-sufficient or they able for plant rest. You need for go to other person for go learning for planting with president not in farm and also they say get in company before he be president.
They get Banga farm, yeah.
They get Banga farm.
Palm kernel farm.
Palm kernel farm. Okay, all now cash crop.
Farm na farm.
Yes, farm na farm. All kind for berry. So if it gets denting in there, so you not be no, but you manifest to say they can improve agriculture. The person have to go Vietnam for let them go learn how to put the people in poverty. But now, okay, so we come on Vietnam. So now this guy go learn now Vietnam. So Vietnam sell man plant cucumber in the backyard. Now make the critical and the service man and me. So we go Vietnam now this is Kawi. But what's Vietnam we gonna arrest in the plant. Now Uganda they don't go first. Uganda we go now then kind thing in the cucumber, yabas, now be see. We don't go learn like Uganda, but they're not been perfect that one.
Yeah.
Then they go to the other country and fall them. You remember also they go to poultry?
I guess somebody want to kill me. He said the president say we not goats and sheep now for Italy. Where the money for the farm? Where the money for the farmer and the rest of your stuff for cook? So look who they eat gas.
No, the president don't say every Sierra Leonean they save almost $2,200 a year. Is it a year or month? But people are not to see the relationship. In this report, this human rights report, highlight minimum wage na Sierra Leone na 500,000 leones.
Yeah.
Okay, almost they sell one place. Now place that you call them one pile cucumber na salon. Because of my place then they sell also. Almost give me 2 places.
Cucumber in the sell my place? No.
Yeah, then they say he put
that small in the boost panem bowl then small.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, so that small bowl then put almost.
Young one is they're not king it.
So okay, let's say now 10,000 leones. That's going to be generous here, okay? Then you have 4 picking there, waiting color, which you have now at 6,000. So now they spend every day 10,000. Almost.
Juma, come on, let Kokuma go soup. When me Kokuma go soup now we see you want to eat some kind of special delicacy in a salon to soup. Kokuma go soup.
Yeah. That's for fun. That is it. When like you say, you get fella.
Yes.
Yeah,
me.
Hey, talking about all kind of things. You know what I'm saying?
Like very young when you say, I get craved for eat cucumber.
Yeah, I'm craving for this. Yeah, so you crave for cucumber. Yeah, Ishaka say now 4 for 5,000 euros for cucumber.
Ishaka, when does she come off with our big deal?
Just come off. You not say it. I see. I go talk.
And I go school now. Funny, you see, I go school guy. There's something about cucumber. You see, I'm not real.
Ishaka na he say 4 for 5,000 euros. Adam Amambu say the charcoal na 50,000 for bags. Yeah.
About people are updated. Juma, somebody asked me last me to come off Freetown.
Oh no, you ask if they go Freetown.
No, you say when was the last time me and you actually go Freetown?
I may not say it compared to a lot of people because
so do you normally visit Freetown? So they ask you, do you normally visit Freetown?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
No, but me don't go for almost like a couple of years now.
Yeah, a few years now because of COVID and stuff like that.
No, me not so COVID though. Hey, you don't Chris. Not like I'm COVID here.
You're not COVID. Because if you don't go last year.
Femi come. Because Femi guy.
You don't go last year.
Femi don't go for like a 4 term inside COVID. Don't ever COVID over big deal.
No, Femi na different read in COVID teacher. Now we go there, go sell gear, what you call that paper 750,000 euros.
No, yeah, Freetown. I just come off with about a couple of, I think 4 or 5 months ago. No, 3 months ago after the AFCOM. Yeah, I just had Freetown for like a couple of days and then come back London. So yeah, I go Freetown regularly, but I haven't been that regularly over the past couple of days because I did study, but I just did. So basically, yeah. Freedom here I come. Freedom to fly, don't come back. I'm not gonna get freedom for fly, not to anything, not to person at this show, because this show they stop me from go freedom out all. Now we get the government. Sure. No qualms. But I don't get my freedom back for fly. So basically I will be on the road soon. Femi no come over, what you want to talk? You don't hold your microphone.
So Yeli, well, right now they can compete for cucumber price. Yeli said 5,000 or 10,000 each in January. So Ishaka, you get for sure you go buy 4 for 5,000 because I want to go buy the last can begin sell 1 for 10,000. So maybe make profit. You know, at least if I go buy there, I would sell 40,000. I'll make
I don't want to say 4 for 10,000. So now come on,
1 for 10,000. Adam say 1 for 10. No, 1 for 1,000. 1,000.
No, can not price control. You can do 1 for good also.
The president, we talk about price control. You remember we talk with them business people. They say that the first day there is some of them here. So we have to talk about this thing. All the time there is a first for our president. Now the first day there is say, price. They open a tongue, strong na salon the businessman, and then they overtax them. You understand? The way they interview at the first year, he said the judiciary, they mess up the country, So we say we go for talk now. Now for the first step, let me know where you say, and not be understand this here. So okay. Ishaka say na Mayamba Junction. I didn't buy 4 for 5,000. Okay. Thank you, Ishaka. Now,
any money price? Any money price?
Yeah, Adam I say 1 for 1,000.
No, Adam I say 4 for 10,000. Not a 1.
No.
He say 1 for 10,000. No, 1 for 1,000.
Okay, Adam, are the new Leons or are the old ones? Okay. The Ishaka don't modify. Say that are the small one, then more than the.
No, that's not the small man and because the small one is cheap.
And like that,
now the baby cucumber then.
The guy plays also.
No, the fresh one, the medium one in 9 plays old. Femi.
Juma. Then the big for me could open the phone line. They were at so na price control on the pan.
Okay, yeah, open the phone line for me, please. Open the phone line. Now get few comments there.
So wait. The phone line call now on the price control now for the cucumber.
So they talk specifically on the human rights issues.
Me man, no say cucumber get boku use so wait the person they use that for advertise.
Hey, boy. Haram. They're angry.
Man, not glad. We not anger, not glad. When the phone call they come?
Yeah. So now open the phone line. If you type the number there.
So who's the most fresh cucumber day? On your way to Freetown or in Freetown?
Up Regent.
No, not to Up Regent. Who's fan Regent?
Up Regent. I don't tell you now.
By the one
outside, yeah, outside that checkpoint there. You know the inside and down are the plants.
Yeah, that plants now can see the boku. Then
side and they plant all them fresh produce. Then they
will. But don't tell you come off with some man. What you talk?
Man.
Now Popon in the 7 inside and they. Now I remember seeking they always.
So you see, you know sabi fruit on. Okay, all right. So Henry Siladonka, I say it depends on their size, but the cheapest is 15,000 leos. Now 15,000 or 1,500. I don't know. Femi, open the phone line, please. Let me hear you comment. Aha, see, Leah don't confirm for me. Thank you, Leah. Gloucester, Regent, Gloucester, Leicester, all Leicester, and then I did the plants. That's it.
But now before, now like how many years?
No, me still don't go by there. I go by the way they come.
Then I will see that day.
2018. Yeah, 2018.
That's 4 years ago.
But under this administration, the
let's not change after that too. Because actually we are going a couple of months ago and I go Regent, so I'm not going to talk say yes. But
from Time Memorial, that place they know.
Yeah, I know say Time Memorial. Yeah, they made sell them and then junction already towards the end of the day. But what in me gets proper recollection of now then other different foods then of veg. I they see pawpaw. Now I don't see the biggest pawpaw as well, and few more other funny stuff that they normally see in town. So yeah, I agree. Them the second, but me the last day was saying they don't taste well.
See my read Kate in last comment. Kate not kill me a big.
I don't know that. I don't know that. No, but honestly, cucumber gets in your pathway they play in the human body. But I think it is not a staple food. So I think the president not for use that as an example of voting man and go say they're not angry for because now like a more critical the population way.
Okay, we don't get a call. But hold on there. Hello, caller.
Good evening. Good evening. Call Jacob for Credential.
Jacob, welcome.
Yes, sir. Juma, how you watching in the break?
Jacob, I'm not going to tell you about Malombo. I remember the last time.
I call it ground soup, not to Malombo.
No, sausage ground soup. I make it like I can give him Malombo ground soup to me.
Yeah. Over to his
Jacob. You watch that. But me will not be surprised. Any sober minded they do the but you know
with the struggle for you small, you the break. Hello, Jacob. Yeah. Yeah, would they get you?
But if you know the
they use earpiece, it's my earpiece. They use it there for pull the earpiece.
I don't pull.
All right, go ahead.
Any leader way sober-minded and people in cities, people are not sober-minded. So, hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Not listen to yourself. With the hear you loud and clear. If you wait for the hear yourself, you know,
the people are they're not sober-minded. Now I make them they do all they do so. Then they do something when they ban then they provoke the people. So like now for let people enjoy see any two way do way I expose and go the expose. We watch back, look at this thing. Minister of Finance, the office at some too. You don't get my graph, you don't get my head. The Como Kenema the council. And you don't get it all for you. The driver alone, you make anything for the driver. In case if when they can, the driver can't sleep. Waiting will happen. The people, me, I don't know. Then just they do waiting they want to do. Then just they want to see how they want to select for staying at the host. Okay.
So Jacob, before you go, you don't able for layer from the U.S. State Department the Human Rights Report for 2021.
I'm not watching it.
Okay, no watch it. All right, we don't in another chat. So if you get chance now for go look and see, they will let for you comment on subsequent program. Okay, thank you so much. But you talk. A president not supposed for the mocking people them like that because so T-boy, I'm sorry, but I have to say this. If this come out nado, okay, this kind of clip come out nado, the president they reduce the people them to that level, the serviceman them. So we know when they refer to people as serviceman them. Waiting will be the conversation outside camera no day. About Sierra Leone, about the people of Sierra Leone, about the indiscriminate shooting and killing at Pademba Road, about the shooting at Tumbo, McKinney for generator or for light, Lone Star, and other places. So if you get mind cam, na camera, you mock the youth like that. What happens outside camera no day? And after seeing this, T-boy, would you still say, because some people like, hey, the president no nothing, not to involve prime minister them, the president mean well, because we last guest Seven say that, right? Say right. The president mean well, now the people that we surround up. With this kind of statement, because gaga, they're not tie up nine neck, in one grade to camera, mock the youth like this. What would you say?
Well, what you see in front of the camera can be different from what you don't see in front of the cameras. So basically, the camera doesn't lie. But I will not make any emphasis on voting and see, but I will make assumption, which is possibly not correct, but I think I have the right to make assumption based on the fact of voting I don't see they happen in public. So if I have a public review on anything that happen in specific regards to this particular video, what could have happened behind the scene, we will not see. Possibly, there are more consequences of voting happen we will not don't see. We make this known as the important part of voting and for putting in the public domain. So yes, you'll be concerned if the Yaden kind of statement here so they come out from the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone towards its citizens in regards to voting in need for do or voting we our citizens need for do for make we left for grumble say man they know or man they angry. So to me is a very serious concern because like I say earlier on, cucumber is not a staple food in Sierra Leone, so cucumber cannot actually satisfy the hunger of Sierra Leoneans the way they complain they're angry. But if the president thinks that is one of the options that he has for the citizens of Sierra Leone, then okay, everybody should make that judgment and see whether it's correct or it's not. But like I said earlier on, we're not here to defend, we're not here to challenge, we're not here to convince anybody to believe in what we're saying. We're just bringing up the discussion and let everybody get an idea and get a view, a think of voting the person that they think, and put yourself in that position. Will you be thinking like that if you are in that position? Will you be thinking of sustainable development in agriculture for your people? Cucumber will be the best choice. But again, we don't see the rest, but we yet to see the finished version of the rest. We know who's the harvester, we know who's the distributor, or who's the seller, or who's for buyer. So cucumber, yes, again, similar ethics. We don't see the cucumber. We don't know the length at which the cucumber extends. We don't know whether it's a short one or long one. Sorry, Juma.
Thank you so much, T-Boy. A lot of questions. We get a caller on the line as well. This is the Fruit of State, the forever young Fruit of State. Belated happy birthday to you, and welcome to the program again today. Is there any way? Okay, hold on a second. We get sound issue. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I hope so myself they hear me.
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
You see, we get for the laugh about what did happen at Sierra Leone. We don't pass the Rubicon of a state in function. Sierra Leone is now a failed state and a collapsed state. Simply because the whole bundle of people that will be repose confidence for govern the country. They don't prove on several platforms say they're not capable. Here is a man who is president. He don't fly past 50 times from modern gear power. Nothing not change that the country, now reverse the country, they reverse. And this same man had been unemployed over 20 years. So they tell me the kind of mentality with the guy is just an idiot. Julius Madabio. Me boy Jalo Jamboy at the talk and saying an idiot. Because he had an opportunity to leave a legacy. He don't misuse and abuse the people. The second thing is, here is another story with a God. Where now somebody very credible and a member of the SNPP party, who is a personal friend to me, Dr. John Idris Lahai. They prove now say the top echelon of we public service that's also fake degree holders and back. This government not get no more confidence of the people. If we can get a serious parliament, but what the parliaments are full of fake degree holders and idiots, this time tell them for take a vote of non-confidence against this government. But it's up to the people of Sierra Leone for take a decision 2023. Because if this continue, in the next 10 years, there will be no Sierra Leone. There will be a place of ragamuffins and baboons. And people then they go suffer. Some of we will not get break again. From now on, we talk out for talk out. Another one, let's send in target. So we are prepared for it. Now I'm sympathize. I am sympathize. I am always ready. Enough is enough of this rubbish. Sierra Leone can be the richest country on earth, but the intellectual class, they take that country as a joke. Now, make them they allow idiots like Madabio for the head of state. I will end at this.
All right. Thank you so much, Fruit of State. Quickly before you go, you don't read the reports from the State Department at all?
I don't want to talk about that now. I don't read them.
Okay.
And the report now get nothing good for write about. All what you be done, they talk about since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
We don't appeal to the international community. We even don't make them get a case file in ICC form. Then they publish so now. And let matter be no say no they go free. And now they go free. How done with Ukraine issue, we are coming for it.
All right. Thank you so much, Fruit of State. Always. We see the Fruit of State blow mind. No say no to Kalu business. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. See, boy.
How no see you go call me next?
I went to yesterday prepare ourselves.
How not you go call me next? But again, sometimes like I can say we not trivialize things, but we make things like bring it to serious issues, but in a kind of way how you be able to understand them properly. So they break them down in so many different ways. They bring down different scenarios. They bring down different examples of how serious the matter they will discuss about now this particular platform. So, according to what Input of State say, it's true. But we got to begin to look at now how we can try and fix some of the problems that we have in Sierra Leone. Because we don't just highlight the problems, but let's start to find a way of how we can fix certain things. And I feel
but he highlighted a solution. He said now people therefore decide.
Yeah, but that is a voting solution. That does not mean the problem is going to be eradicated. That does not mean the problem will not coexist again. That does not mean the problem is finished. So
what is showing, you will not have the same president, the same president mocking the people of Sierra Leone, the same president calling the people terrorists, whilst as in your government, they send people for go do a mass shooting to people away there behind bars. That's the solution.
Agree, but making a decision 2023 also not a reinforce say equally or the worst will not happen.
Then you deal with that when it reaches. But if
before dealing with that, what I think we should now look at as Sierra Leoneans now for begin call things as it is. That's one.
And that's what he did.
That's one. Two, we for begin now find a way of holding people accountable. So if we begin...
The only way you hold people accountable within a government, because we told to run so that gentleman from where he came last week, T-Boy, where he talk about the fake degree, we are talking about Uda. 3 prominent people, not so?
Yeah.
Or 4 prominent people, the Inspector General of Police, the Clerk of Parliament, the Leader of Government Business, and the Defense Attaché na AU. But from that day today, they don't publish more than 10 more names, and most of these people work na the presidency office. But they still getting by. Uda na the first person will jump out for defend the fake degree holders. The anti-corruption boss, not to so.
Yeah.
He make a case, there is no case, no crime committed here. So you already don't tell and say, I don't care. So who would you hold accountable? The only thing where you get is to decide whether you want them to govern you again.
That is one. But also, we're not therefore let it go because you are not in governance anymore. So that means the crime that you've committed when you are in governance, you cannot be answerable to that crime after you've left office. No, we should continue to prosecute. We should continue to act in the interest of Sierra Leoneans for crimes being committed when you were in office. Now that we have the rights to prosecute or ask the question, even we study to Commissioner of Anti-Corruption Ben Kemfala. If he thinks what he is saying now, he will be able to justify it if they leave office next year, fine, let him go and defend it. Because as far as I'm concerned, when a crime is being committed, anti-corruption is not just only investigating crimes of money laundering. No. Anti-corruption is investigating anything that is a criminal matter within governance structures, right? Or government institutions.
Not to them they investigate money laundering. You get the financial.
Well, they are doing a lot of that as well. So basically, it funds all the investigation. Because when you look at the report also make mention of what the Anti-Corruption Commission don't do in terms of investigating politicians or officials that we don't commit crime, where they're able to confiscate over $33 million or $1 billion. We still don't know money needed. and some people and they pay fine. And that not includes some people that don't pay fine. But also they indict somebody where they're in jail, where they're in South Town, but do not tell you what they pay fine for, whose kind of fine they pay. So these are some of the things that I'm talking about. Anti-Corruption Commission, they do investigation in money laundering, in monetary issues within government institutions. So that is not just their remit, because also therefore investigate anything that gets to do with a position of any individual will not merit that position, but it benefits from that position.
Okay, hold on, they will get a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello.
Yeah, ask one question. Hello.
Who are they call?
Hello.
Yeah.
Jacob again.
Yes, Jacob.
I want to ask Timo. You will investigate people in the country where people now they consume everything. Who collect this? Who collect fake degree? Where the whistleblower call President Kelfala and tell him what's in a President Kelfala in response to man. So law will take note of all lengthing and the will get presently because like the chief minister in case where the anti-corruption then they actually corrupt. You do see where you get now for go investigate. You go investigate instead come on you defend the person. The same issue come up with the first aid. Waiting in my now defense they go defense. So how you work out the people they have to book? When are the people and they run the system and they tune and they pick and do waiting and feel for do?
Okay, so answer your question, I am not saying we should investigate them now because it's practically impossible, but it doesn't mean also when you left office, you don't have to be investigated. Yes, we can investigate you after office. For say, during your time in office, you did X, Y, Z, Z, Z. Can you come and defend it? You're not going to be investigated in your own office for what you have done when you were in office. So all I say is, for make we able for bring positive effects in the institution they organize alone. Now, continuity of transparency, continuity of people owning up to their failures and taking responsibilities of some of the things they didn't do when they were in office. Because again, we don't tire for see this kind of same practice. When you are in office, you commit a crime. When you're off office, nobody touches you. No, it means it's a continuous vicious circle that is going to.
But you were in the foot of state say exactly that.
Yeah.
Foot of state give the people of Sierra Leone an alternative. Well, what you can say now, so say waiting, you vote now, you waiting.
Now you live.
You vote now, you live. So you tell people and say, now they left to the salon people, they let them decide whether they want the same president in 2023. But it go again and it go further and say, let the president know, say, he will not get away with whatever is happening.
Okay. I totally agree with that.
And then you see,
but it's not just the president we're talking about. We're talking about everybody within the institution and we don't commit a crime.
No, I ain't go and call now who I want for English. No. T-boy.
Because we cannot rely on the president to call names of people that
the president I didn't vote for. Okay, hold on. I think they call back. Oh, yeah, with you and Clyde.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I just want to come back to T-Boy.
All right, go ahead.
T-Boy?
Yes, sir.
T-Boy?
Yes, sir. At the 80, yes, sir.
Into this, I said it left to the people and for take a decision because we know say the parliament not go back a vote of non-confidence. After the people are taking their decision, when them pull them a power, if they're not saying that them papa die left salon give them, let them not come out. And when they come out, then go get for answer to all the crimes.
Okay.
We do things step by step. Okay?
Okay.
When people vote against them, let them cause commotion. Then they make the thing very serious. We don't do all we homework. Enough is enough. When then they use that country, how people they elect. Not a few people in Papa die left Salongi Debo. The people of Sierra Leone deserve better, and from now on, some of us are not going into politics, but we are going to ensure that we are in the backstage
ensuring that the people of Sierra Leone get what they deserve. And that is good life.
Mr. Somebody, thank you, sir. You can't say, me angry, see what? Me angry.
Who does say angry, Kafu?
Me angry.
No, but you see, again, I listen to what the Foot of State say. Totally agree with that, because at the end of the day, I think if we put checks and balances and we make them continuity, we follow up on every change of anything that will happen within Sierra Leone from now on. I think people then will begin to understand, say, well, okay, we might be heading towards certain amount of administrative changes. Yes, correct. But again, the problem what we face with that the fact say many people get away with some of these crimes. Somebody mentioned at the chat, say some of these people that were left off, then they fly out of the country and set up their own private businesses. True, but guess what? We will chase them there, because these are now the time this now way. If you come and set up an establishment outside of Sierra Leone, then we will put that country there in trail behind you and make them investigate how you get your money.
So now, so for answer, if you answer that question, the back to add, waiting Leah say just now, where they ask the question, waiting for extradite them. So it's a simple question. I don't know if I do on camera. Am I?
Yeah. Okay. So you want to camera for talking about what it is?
No. Nah, because I see I don't know if they say a call will come in. Okay, I'll hold the caller 1 second. So Leah, so this is a case in point. The report what they discussed today, the human rights report, now that they write up. It's been documented by the United States Department. So if anybody run Canada, there is enough evidence because now waiting there right now go for pull as proof. If they're gonna any partner Europe, now the European report now they put plus other things as proof. So there's a possibility for let the extradite people and for go answer for them crime them. Yes, caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, this is Emmanuel from Los Angeles.
Hi, Emmanuel. Welcome.
You sound. I enjoy on a show, man. Salon has some interesting place. Whichever government they in power, when they write any good report about them, then go gladdy. But when that same body they write something adverse against them, then they will begin for decry that organization. For example, the Auditor General, now this same government, they use Auditor General report for go after APC. Anyway, with regard to this doctorate, fake degrees and stuff, that salon, I blame two sets of bodies. One, the Tertiary Education Commission or the university. Then I blame the hiring bodies. Them, but how on earth any Jack and Jill can just come with some fake some degree, una just accept them without una not verify, without una not verify degrees. Then they so not only now the university don't set up some mechanism whereby anybody come with PhD or masters, then get a way for verify whether that side where they get the degree accredited. It's like when the host don't come on at the band. That's then they go lock the door now. But as they can say, better late than never. So
now
that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Make an recent law.
Yeah, then just in action.
Yeah, they make a press release a few days ago. They make a press release saying now any tourist come to the country, they get for go through that body, they then get for verify them. Why they not do this all along? God alone knows.
So let me ask a question, Emmanuel. How is this going to be effective where some of the registrars or deputy registrars and some of the administrators then now the University of Sierra Leone, they say they get the fake degrees them and now they get for institute their lawyers or now they get for implement their laws there?
That's a good question. Well, Adika say let God bless person like a Dr. Lahai. If we get the likes of Dr. Lai, a few Dr. Lais, they're going to continue for blow the whistle and expose, the people, they compromise the position. So, I mean, people therefore be watchdog. If anybody, if me sabi somebody way, you know, me know this person here, so I know in academic weight, then all of a sudden they carry with a PhD. If the university not blow that whistle there, me go blow that whistle there, say, hey, that's when I check that person there. They forget some channels, independent of that university there or wherever, you know, go meet person like any Dr. Lahais or whatever, say, when I check this person here, so the one they already certify fake degrees, then will they continue for expose them? You know, I mean, we'll get a long way for go. We'll not get better systems in place, unfortunately, in that country for do things right. You know, for establish some checks and balances. Sorry for saying.
I think we get the laws then the system they but not use them. So that's purpose, you know, because the very people wait for institutes and they benefit from the rotten system, so they prefer because it's not like they don't know, they know. You know, because if anti-corruption commission they run out our picking and say then good and then get what you call they call them Scorpion Squad. Scorpion Squad drive the picking and then a bush, then they per mark, then they write an exam paper. So the Scorpion Squad they will go catch them. Then catch teachers, then they bring them and put placard on them, you know, publicly. But then you get posting them inside the anti-corruption office. We get fake degree. You get posting them. You know, now the head of police, that the one who comes, the Inspector General of Police, in a 210, twice, Dominion get fake degree, accept her for.
First of all, that Inspector General of Police, he don't pass the retirement age long time ago. So, you know.
That's a whole new story as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, they just make a mockery of the whole thing that the place, man.
Then now they arrest the people here, the institution, but they left the one they will pay for obtaining degree also. Because with that corruption at all, with that the corruption, offering acceptance, no so.
Yes, I'm getting.
You a Gio, you a Teko, una all.
Yeah, of course.
You accept you take, but you left you away Gi.
I'll get a long way for going to that country, there, pal.
Well, Mr. Emmanuel, we make our shots. No, we only work for making shots.
Good. We want so many of the Dr. Lahais. Bye-bye.
Oh, yes, he's done well, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Well, see, how they go inside the Republic, not to get food.
Now, how they carry come? Now, how they pass? You know, say, we can... Yeah. But come back to the idea of, to me, I think the institutions in our Sierra Leone don't fail we, especially FBC. Let me tell you why. Because in terms of the amount of malpractices, the way they happen there, not to yesterday start, not only the issue of the Dr. Lai whistleblowing. No, this don't start as long possible for the past 20 years. Yeah, well, I will say 20 years because I have no recollection.
Now 20 years we are open to that. But it only happen. You know how many people the way get then degree then they will not be notified.
True.
Go see the tremble first.
True, but me never tremble anyway because I need to pay for a degree. Those degree did nothing to me. But all me they say is me gets for recollect that 20 years ago because 20 years ago now both of them begin sketching me so me a lawyer. You know say me a lawyer? What you want to say? Okay, fine. That didn't go. You know say me a doctor? Why they challenge the medicine? Where are the view? Okay. I begin get a lot of those sort of challenges because anybody who not sure of in credentials, then they feel to see the challenger because he thinks he doesn't know what he's doing. So I don't begin to experience this for the past 20 years in Sierra Leone, and I don't begin to question, say, why everybody so defensive about their positions? Why is everybody so defensive about being a lawyer or being a doctor? You should not challenge them. Why? It means you are not sure. Thank you. You are trying to impose your qualification on me for make I feel intimidated. You're joking. I want you get the degree the way you back at the wall. Then you can follow me engage yourself. I know what I'm saying to you. So you got to tell me what you say to me. If you say you're not a lawyer, and then you want to make I believe say you're not a lawyer because you're not a lawyer, prove it. And then you want to argue with me logically, I beg please. If you say you're a doctor, and they ask you, say, this paracetamol they give me, almost 10 apotheca. Oh, just take a number 5-6 times a day. I'm like, no. Really? Not so overdose. I overdose. We say, hey, you challenge me? You want to talk to a lie? Yes.
When you know one well done, I use now.
Oh, they challenge you. Because you do every medicine where you give me, I need to know the effects of I need to know the side effects. Now, me right for ask you. And are you position for telling me what are the side effects of that particular medicine they give me for like I say. So let me not begin to say this not start yesterday. It don't start long time ago. And for like first thing like me in million situation 10 years ago in Sierra Leone is not the same as it is right now. But 10 years ago, I was not in any capacity for lecturing at Sierra Leone FBC. Can you imagine? Say our institution was approached to lecture at the Furabe College, Mascom. Hello, 10 years ago, I don't have that capacity to be a lecturer. Not even at the, okay, like I said, something maybe I will teach basic, but I will not be a lecturer at the University of Sierra Leone. So if you approach me, can you imagine what's the kind of for let me go begin to tell you, say, okay, you don't qualify for guess you first bachelor degree or you master's. Come on, let's be honest. The entry level in Sierra Leone for the past 15 years, now masters. Who's I Olympic? Well, now the funny thing now, when you another pico, another say that true, but when you watch the degrees that we don't come out this couple of days, the people that we don't graduate, we don't. How do you call the word? We don't get the degree them. Majority. I'm not gonna say they go school up, Papa got there and another hold me for say and buy. But we have most of the so-called slave queen they don't get degree, master, do that get bachelor. How did they go to school? Which time they get for actually go FBC and focus and read and study and get them degree and they hello? Are we serious? Are they gonna give them job? Please give them jobs. Let's see how they can execute that duty. Male as well as female. Can you imagine that?
See, boy.
I want to know how they qualify. I want to know who school they go. I want to see the report card in. I want to see the attendance sheets.
See, boy.
Please.
Yeah, prefer for children and their job. You understand? Then we know for say possibly you get both people there.
Why
not? Prefer than for go give them one. Then they imagine the director of petroleum for example. Yeah.
Juma, thief na thief. You thief.
No, we don't know for fact. We know say.
Well, I'm just asking. So basically,
so before we don't know, then go University of Sierra Leone.
Well, don't begin vex them first. We don't qualify first.
No. The one that we don't.
No, Juma. Let me begin vex the one that we just don't qualify first from FBC.
No.
Why not? Why not? Okay, you left John there. You want to?
You say that I cannot start with that. When you get people inside the system.
You suppose Emmanuel say we get a long way to go, but I say we therefore start from now. So basically,
I know they start with the one that we just graduate and left the one that we then don't identify.
We know the one already, so we don't identify it already.
So when we deal with them, and you know why we need what we need for do? We need for make sure say the one and they be held accountable for that. Now crime. Wait, hold on. Now crime because then they deliberately pay money, grown man them and woman them. Then pay money inside 1 week, then get PhD. So let we deal with that and then we won't get another caller. All right, hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello. All right.
Yeah. Juma, okay.
Yeah.
I totally understand who side you come from. But let her give me one reason. One, we get a lot of okay,
the caller don't come in. Hello, caller. Hello. Yes, caller.
Yeah, how do you mean?
Very well, thank you. Tell me your name, who side they call from, and you make a contribution.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Mrs. Kadi Kamar.
Kadi,
I'm a two of the presenters, they know me well.
Yeah.
No call them all. That's what normal say. See now, I don't know the two.
Yeah, so
no call them all. You don't say two.
No. They're all three and no call me.
Or you be Femi. Sometimes I'm me and Juma. Or I'm me and Femi. Or I'm Femi and Juma. So that's what normal say.
No, let them listen to number 2.
Thank you.
Well, hi. Don't call it in Timor.
No,
what do they try for say? What do they say? Ben Kelfala say anyone get involved in this fake degrees? And fake degrees all involved in education. Okay. So why it gets involved in those teachers that only play malpractice into examination? It go patrol or line them a country tree for disgrace them or for disgrace the country. Which one? Because that will go viral. Is that the country not disgrace?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a valid question you ask. So and at the same thing, at the same surprise, we have so get Kadi, because now enforce come and can't defend them. That's the disappointing part. And this is not the first time. They do that when it comes to public officials. When the First Lady issue came up as well about corruption, he was the
correspondent to the former First Lady.
Yes.
That they should say in your office is not independent.
And when it comes to the chief minister allegation of $1.5 million money laundering, he was the first to defend him as well.
It was the first. That is sure. The understanding of AFCC is to be an independent department.
Correct.
That in behavior they show, so we say work for the country or the people, it will work for the party or employer.
So we hope they listen to it, because when it comes there was an issue as well in our State House. He was the first to defend it, and
exactly.
This is the information from there for better.
Like we don't give such an example for publicize the country to the world about teachers that they do what is not wrong. Let him continue. But what punish one, you do in favor of another or defend another.
And that boy just said this now as well. So you need to pick and choose. Thank you so much, Kadi.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We got another caller.
Okay, come back. Duma.
Hello, caller.
Hi there.
Yeah, good evening. All right, go ahead with your comment, question, and tell me the one outside the phone.
Okay, Mina, a concerned citizen. I want just.
Bola ask you now. You attend Dominion.
Yeah. You know one of the Dominion name members. Them talk and get Juma. I don't
get you, sir.
Somebody ask if now Dominion.
Somebody ask if now Dominion you go.
Well, me not to SLPP party career neither a Southeasterner.
Okay.
So yeah, what's it?
Me? Yes. Me like a concerned citizen.
Citizen. Go ahead, concerned citizen.
So I'm really glad for this UNA program. Moreover, I congratulate Dr. Lahai.
Okay.
Dr. Lahai, I get high respect for her. Because according to our listen now on a program about a week or two ago, it is inamende, the name Lahai should for say inamende. And it gets a timony blood. Now person, the afraid nothing. Now for that it exposed this. The timony blood and the mende blood, we see a mix, that person they fear nothing. They talk the truth, and I really appreciate that. And up till today, I continue for reading. They expose people there. One, the president, a nephew or a relative, when put that oil, something, when use the money, pay for an insane good degree course, take it with
PhD and so now executive member that owns of the way they get that alone. And the point is, most of the lecturers within Afrabic College now, all higher institutions, when I Southeastern out, if they check them, most of them they get fake degrees. To crown it, I don't see also Usa Adesu. One lady when Musu, if they attend in the students like in Jala, both campus, and call in Papa as she does so. And Papa put the telephone on speaker. And say, let Papa send money for her. The head of the faculty need about 3 million for Lengo get in degree. That's not 2 years back. When he don't deliver this message, then Papa say, look, come on, what did they go on the salon? You see, most of them want the way they in Jala, and to be precise, in Southeastern, the so-called educated Southeastern, now fake degree language. And they don't do this as a, they don't capture most of the higher institutions.
Quickly, and I know I'm caught you to end of thought, concern Sierra Leoneans. But the proof so far is not limited to one region, though, because the reason I want to say that.
I agree with you.
Yeah, because the head of the kingpin and this way they issue the degree, they're not to Southeastern.
No, not to Southeastern, but the purchasers are mostly as Southeastern.
So the clients then
exposed. Those that are being exposed, 80% of them are Southeastern.
So why do you think that is?
Why I think that is? They don't capture most of the state institutions. From this memorial, they left them people there so then they do all what they want. For example, look the IG. He got fake degree. Look the Speaker of Parliament.
No, the clerk of Parliament.
The clerk of Parliament and the one waiting at Parliament for government business, all fake degrees. Now, that one day, Parliament, now higher institution. Not only that, if they enter the office of the president, then they will get up. And for if you come out, you go to NRA, then they. And most of them, when they will occupy position them right now, the 80% of them, all their degree they are fake. This law no shame. Sierra Leone don't be the anthems of Africa. This thing don't go worldwide. People that don't suffer for getting degrees now. If they apply for any international job, my brother, the possibility not for the possibility get up. And moreover, when they expose most of them, I see where this gentleman would Holland, he got one program which one fake lawyer will say then they investigate Dr. Samurai in degree. When he gets now wage. Now they talk to me cousin in go Ijala. He get division 3 degree. He get division 3. Last year 9 graduate. Now I tell him for say, I say you division 3 where you get, it better pass somebody who get division 2. Because as you don't so, me somebody when they together and picking them also. He get division 2 where pay about 3 million for get them. This is a disgrace.
So I come back to what in T-Boy be they talk just now. Say for investigate they come on at University of Sierra Leone and Jala University and all.
My brother, what are they telling you? Even at the judiciary, if they enter they will catch them. This thing don't be a disgrace to the education system na salon internationally. Arrest me case.
Thank you so much, concerned citizen. Thank you very much. All right.
Yep.
Yes, present.
Me on points that I think I'm being honest, and I think say we for begin stop for sugarcoat this, because at the end of the day, right now, I feel say we don't get hundreds of graduates that we don't graduate right now in Africa. So basically, if one for begin vet, it will make sure say these are the right set of students. Then I remember about 4 years ago, there was an issue with law school. Yeah, the issue with law school, and the fact say the head of the law school in Sierra Leone resigned her position because of the malpractices then where you uncover, where you say it should not happen. We know of certain ministers that right now we not be go school, not be their 10th class, but then qualify as a lawyer. Hello. So basically, not just something we don't start.
So resign, you might resign, or then kick and commode because
anyone now. So
there's a difference. There's a difference. When you resign, but the suppressed side and kick and commode at the place because it's certain people not for go attend.
Exactly. So what they say now is we don't get hundreds of people that we just graduated about a couple of days ago. During this weekend, we passed through. It's all about the social media platforms. Something they out of their own, fine, no problem. We totally accept that. But all I'm saying is, if we have a department now at the FBC where they monitor certain degrees, the way they come out of Sierra Leone or where they issue a salon, then if we begin start with the last now with no issues. So what I mean by that, therefore begin check every individual attendance record. Because there is no you can qualify for a degree if you not attend for that because the 30% of the year. You will not be able.
Okay, so Tibona, who that then therefore investigate this investigation? Because I'm not okay with that. You know?
Okay. The thing is you get registered the way you get head of departments, deans them, different departments and so that the institutions there. And those head of departments should be in the position of running the administrative structure.
But what if not they issue the fake degree them or
but then you bring in independent supervisors, you bring in independent invigilators for can invigilate them, for can investigate them. Okay, not investigate, but for can cross-check some of these. So if you have a dean, the dean for day in the position will give you possibly transcript of every individual student.
So what you the vet or what you the investigate or audit is the institution.
It's institution, right? Of course.
So when you look at first, you know, waiting on a policy, on an enrollment policy, how now they take people, you watch that. You understand? You don't get on there. Then now you take, okay, now this time I graduate them. All right, look, I'm gonna bring attendance lists. Waiting at the attendance list because you therefore don't get a basis force. But you know what's not the problem right now? I get people the way they go university. Some of them they complain first that then over 300 inside one class.
Yeah, but still the tell now we 120 bring at but we only do the register.
But this now university wait. That in itself false, wrong. You cannot have 300 people in a class. No, me they tell you now. What they happen right now?
Okay.
Now the universities them na Sierra Leone, particularly Frabe College.
So that is practically impossible.
Well, so that is it. So then they outside force, then they sit down, and this is not possibly they are making because you know they not get either they not get enough lecturers. You understand? They don't get proper system for work come out for let you get, 10 or 20, students in a one class. They don't have that. So they bulk everything inside one because they lack the rotten system. So
are you okay with what you don't make? That's it. Don't make. So you want me to say that go justify say then people have to get credible qualification from FBC?
So I want to let you understand what Charlie said. My point is, before you begin force, whether for no force, whether the degree credible or not, you have to look at what is surround till then get the degree. If you pay for get your degree, then they in the out of question first. But the quality first of the degree where you they get, if the system is all messed up first, my point is the very people where you go put the lecturers head of department are aware of this problem. And they are creating this problem because when chaos still like that, they survive. They don't care. They register there, but you get other people the way they take students, the way they enroll students there.
So what's the now where you say we're not supposed for investigate the so because that's
no, I'm not saying.
No, you say what could deal with the one and when they don't call the name them first.
No, yeah, no, I don't tell you that because if you say let we begin with the one, so then you they forget about the one that we already. There's a difference. There is a difference. The people that we talk about right now occupying government positions and in big salaries, and they were in they occupy them position and the way they go buy degrees $8,000. That's what I'm saying. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hi.
Hello,
Family and T-Boy. Juba, how do they do?
Very well, thank you. Now that
listen, Ahmed. I just certain question the one just one ask, and maybe I didn't on the wrong side. But I believe say who been in this school Thursday they can go to in a court, me not to lawyer.
Right.
If somebody go buy thief property,
yes,
the law get right for arrest them as a criminal, or the law no get right for arrest them. Because the responsibility of you, we go buy that property, you will check the authentic of the honesty of the salesperson. If you fail to do that, Andy, you go buy thief property, I think say the law will hold you. The law will let you go.
So,
Ahmed, the IG, so Pula, he say the guys there, na Swazi, na thief property, then the sell.
Right.
Right? He bulldoze them, he bully them. They arrest on them. Why me own friend, when I can follow, they let himself down, they let we down at the Sierra Leoneans them, they use a word say, if you don't use that fake degree for firm job, then you still get reliable for them at your job. I think say anybody where they work in a salon office, might take even a cleaner. If he not honest, he get criminal record. My brother, I don't think say for video. Because the repetition of a bad repetition of one Sierra Leonean is about all the Sierra Leoneans them. It just sounds like when them people are like see we now. Oh, you know, so we Africans, we black community, and Asabio and not Sabio. Once you are saying I'm my brother. If one Sierra Leonean office gets about, this don't become a problem in the world for we all. We all know the syndicate. Just like Ona mentioned 20 years ago. The syndicate started from the military. But people are not being pick them up. This MPRC. Where they self-promote themselves. But they ignore them. First and foremost, not to disrespect, the president, that brigadier, if you take him off his soldiers, them. If you pull him off by your own pride. That's all. Not self-promoted brigadier. Now the criminal act started. So Sofula now, for make Sofula they call a doctor with all the colleges the way he say now he go get his doctor certificate they say they don't exist. So the ACC they tell we say whether they go ask Sofula for inquire if in certificate there the authentic or not. I think say Sofula not to get the law. The law now for investigate Sofula.
Exactly.
But this now matter where it be say Kefala know and pass me it with triple times, 100 times. If Kefala mistake he put in hand and this is a lost in job. Salon na man with 2-man watch. All man know in company in darkness eye. We honor the country. Where they out to, they way they inside you, they way all the power. All man for be honest to himself. Therefore, sit down at a round table and start for build salon back fresh. If not for that, we value on the world, we don't go down. This not to think for say, then anything where they unbug the country, they let for count about politics. I don't ever see no government they take blame against the people that will not control the country. When they could not elect for use F word in our OSE because of picking the made and not go use in our school. But any small thing way ugly, the government ready for blame the people.
Right.
Then go trust money or then they proud say then go trust money. Would I recommend that they trust? Now the only government this. President Bill gets a heavy responsibility. I wish it be for accept for say yes, we don't go wrong into this. More try for clean slate today. Not to so full of begin a thief promotion. No. President Bill I start for thief promotion, but just like one of been the talk, Salon be the ignore them stuff there. This guy can hit at the right time at the right point. Just like Kodenki say, if you do the good things them, now the wrong time, they're wrong. If you do the wrong thing at the wrong time, again, you're wrong. When you do the right thing at the right time, it's 100%.
Yeah.
We all get a responsibility. This not a joke, fun. I don't see that come on with in degree and salo. I take them for one agency. This was 2009. Now London Bridge. You know, somebody use computer. The manager said this one wake out, you say get degree. This degree will not check. We don't even know inside this degree deal. This college did. Ashamed. If you check most of the former ministers or present ministers, they don't study play with computer. And if you get problem, if you don't come out plain and say the truth, nobody no will help you. The whole Sierra Leone, we all need for Sierra around table say, say, honest, we now with a long cage, we now job step, if now oversee, that they they suspect them. So full and no for this step in the hands of a uniform again. Exactly. No credibility. Yeah. But we Africans, they will not get credibility position. Oh, Nami man, more left. How the ACC they go say if they not if you not use that degree, that fake degree for go find job, they know they go after you. It's a shame. It's a disgrace for the country. It's a disgrace for the country.
And Ahmed, I know I'm caught you, but even that statement is not correct. We all know how because the more you qualify, your qualification, your educational qualification, they make them increase your salary as well. That's one. Two, the governments they give them money for personal development or career development. So, but in take it go buy degree now pay for this degree like you stated. You will buy thief property, you will sell thief property, you will mediate, you will keep. You will see where not talk. Una all they part of that criminal enterprise day. So
of course
there is no way you will go try for justify say because you know use them for apply as Inspector General of Police. But if they use them, the police then put memo for them, police letterhead. The police letterhead they pull them and celebrate them. So for the fact that they don't use that, so what will he say about the clerk of parliament where put them as in profile now the parliament website? Saying a PhD holder of XYZ place. How about the other people that will use that for
110%? That statement's wrong. But the policy way you they put for making they chase the criminal, if Incomo can't defend criminals, there it's a disgrace for the whole country. Kaifala, that job you need for resign. It's a friend, it's a brother, but you need for resign. How you go send Param thoroughly now any international credibility? How did they take a look Param? The first credibility of anybody where they earn public office, you earn for deeper criminal act. They're not for even raise that voice. ACC for just don't zip their mouth and keep quiet. But for me, ACC, this thing don't start from day one. Not to today it starts. Everybody know the syndicate. Who know where they are the station self know the syndicate. But not to see where we blow alarm, where people have for take notice now. The thing no law is the whole foundation of the country. Now we don't see the damage.
Right. All right, thank you so much.
We also accept me, brother. We also accept every one of Sierra Leone. It contributes for ignore the bad thing there. Now they don't affect me. But this president within government members, I don't think that they do we a favor for no say. Now we taxpayers money there. Now they don't enrich themselves. But it's like we have money there, they don't enrich themselves. Then they do the right job. May God give them a good way in their own life. May they enjoy that money there. But if not a right way, then they do for the country, they enrich themselves. They know they enjoy their money there. And one thing again, you see who sister Fatima Bio, when he says something, may people let you pick the sense out of the rubbish making common and much. May people don't look ignore everything where they say. Fatima Bio blow the alarm. But people they're full of politics na salon too much. Anything where common and possible much, they turn into politics. When Fatima Bio blow this alarm, I get a conversation with somebody. He said, me brother, he said this thing where Fatima say, he said one day you get for council light. I see her because me I not let put in I not get participate where I belong. Right? But if we not change where Juma talk, we look and say na RF or na SLPP. More they take what Juma talk, we know the benefits of the country. I just make an example. Please, make people know see Juma na RF or na SLPP. No. We also be honest for Bila country. If we not be honest for Bila country, all the people are whether apply for international jobs them or visa, I swear to God, then go turn them down.
Right.
And therefore encourage the guy where can blow the whistle, may come off to small factors. But the guy now, then they fight against the guy, then they bash against the guy. While the SEC say they want whistle blow them. The one who will say want, the man don't talk now. Now they fight against them back. I don't see no sense. Man, not all the program for so long. I go stop
Thank you so much, Akme. Thank you.
Yeah, analyze what you say.
Yeah, thank you. Salient point. And where Ahmed talking last word, T-Boy, just remind me the Minister of Education. You know, we're going to 98.1. He number 8060 something. It says, so if there is any problem, when I get any complaint about education business, we know they go right, when I call this number. Then try the number at the station before. I say, na 24 hours, this number they ask right now. He say yes. Then call it, Mr. Minister. This number not look they go to. He say, he may go to okay, what come on now, so they go fix her. So he don't suicide the thing start.
Juma, argument in REF. Why did you not say no to REF?
I'm not denying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, to be honest, like I said earlier on, this don't start for long. But I think say the one way they don't call the name now, we sabi them. So they will not say nothing about their qualifications no more to us. But the ones that we don't know should be the ones that we should be finding out about in terms of regulating some system where already they say now they exist for monitor. But I think we need to get somebody from the outside, an independent body, before going to we institutions them and begin to try for monitor and see exactly how we degrade. The university right now, they complain say you can never get anything up to 70%. And it's fact, because they need to give past 70%. I don't go very close to 70%. But they didn't give 70%. And I question why. Because I say the grading system within the use, now grading system we they want to push everybody in ability to the max. So you might think you have 40% or 45 or 50% as a passing mark, but it is something very serious because I believe your capacity is way above that. So if you go and get something really close to 70, but you need to go above 70, it means your capacity is way above the 80 or 90% when you look at. So that's different. But when it comes to Sierra Leone, what is the grading system and how is it being used? What do they take for monitor some of the things that when they're able to assess you as somebody who do very well in that particular subject, or we go excel beyond that particular subject. So what this guy for says, majority, I think I'll go back 20 years again still, I don't come across people that reading at institutions them of very important institutions where they talk about serious things the way I feel to say go benefit Sierra Leoneans. The way they are the bread, some of the bread basket ministries them in Sierra Leone cannot even express. Can you imagine themselves in that particular area? We did an interview about 15 years ago. Now GGDO, Bank of Sierra Leone, Government Gold and Diamond Organization. Somebody will be the head that particular department today. We had an interview with that person. Sitting interview. Can you imagine the entire interview? Starts and end. There is no single terminology where that person they express to we say that person will study geology. We study something for do with minerals. We study something for do with the particular department we did. So that was shocking. This was like 15 years or more ago in Sierra Leone. At the Bank of Sierra Leone, somebody where they're in charge of GGDO cannot express themselves in that particular ministry. So then concerns here, so we don't begin to see them long ago. Sometimes me and Femi will put the camera. Sometimes we have to rewrite. Sometimes we have to actually tell people what to say in their own ministry, because what they are saying to us is totally different from what we're expecting them to be saying, in particularly with what we want to ask them about. So there are times when sometimes we don't do thousands of interviews. You guys don't have the opportunity to see those interviews because they are not meant to be broadcast, because it is a shame. That's fact. So no, we were not experts those years. We were still learning those years, but now that we have some amount of knowledge, you tell me who that they can't sit down before we now for begin tell you story about something where you know sabi possibly no understand. We will keep time for encourage yourself for sit down for the interview. Because the believing of what we believe, now the fact say when you are in a department, you should know that department in and out. You should be able to speak that language in that department. You should be able to articulately express yourself in that department. You know, for struggle, for use certain terminologies. I expect a medical doctor or medical student for talk to me in medical terms, and then I will be able to ask them questions. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? So you break them down for make I able to understand, and we able to make we are able to understand. But if the guys don't talk to a politician, politics is not something that is not a miracle to become a politician. No, it's not. Because anybody can be a politician. Anybody can study politics in different ways. It's how you administer your sense of politics, and then it will make sense to the people that really govern or where they deal with. Or if you're a lawyer, you can have 30 different disciplines in law. Doesn't necessarily mean you are a better defense or criminal or business law or whatever you might see. I bumped into somebody today who study law, but guess what? He focuses on management law. Hello? That person doesn't possibly have any clue in terms of defense law or criminal law, but he focuses on management law. Sometimes maybe he studies some amount of management skills. Sometimes now business lawyer. Sometimes he gets some lots of ideas in business. So he decided to go and do the legal aspects of business. So if we don't get any sort of discipline in Sierra Leone in the faculties they will get, can you imagine somebody they talk to you about mass communication? Do you know what that means? Mass communication. And then the only aspect of mass communication where you will talk to you about the newspaper editor or newspaper broadcasting or maybe radio. Those are the disciplines. But you say mass com. What is mass com? It means various different forms of communication. What is it? And how many forms of communication they actually teach now Fabi College mass com? Possibly one or two. Because when you come to mass com, now only two things you get people for do. Two. Majority of the two things they get people do. Either you work in a newspaper or you work in a radio station. Is that all? So your mindset has been designed for just those two things, nothing more. And then you tell me, say you teach me mass communication? Let's be serious. Because when you get people to teach mass communication, some of them not even savvy for all radio dictaphone. So you just do the theoretical side of things, but these are practical things anyway. For somebody to do computer studies, he doesn't even have a laptop. He doesn't even have access to a computer at the university for practically use the computer where you say you do computer science on, or you do computer, or you do IT. How can you be studying IT and you don't have an access to a computer? IT is not intellectually, but you have to also use the practical essence of everything you learn in terms of IT. Because without computer, you will not study IT. Now, magic, for somebody come on at FBC with IT qualification, they tell me, say, you know, sabi type, you know, sabi for go into any kind of IT software, Microsoft Words. Come on, now, only Salon in the teach individual Microsoft Word package. You pay for Excel, you pay for PowerPoint, you pay for Microsoft Word, and you pay for the other different packages of Microsoft package. Individually, you pay for them. And then you say you study IT. Come on, let's be realistic. How can you study computer science in Sierra Leone? Almost computer you go begin put together, or you destroy, or you try to find out how they fix or how to fix it. Then make everything as along way they fix. We get technology panel now destruction, because it will never be the same again after they not open up. So we get for really look at them things also and evaluate what we do and how we assess ourselves. But like as usual, Sarah the media, they come off from one point to the other. We don't come off from human rights. Now we do fake degrees. Juma, go on.
Thank you so much, T-Boy. Thank you to we callers them. It's been an interesting program. So the issues them all interconnected. So we see why, you know, we get bad policies, people are making bad decisions. So we're not going to surprise if we get a police where they brutalize people headed by somebody who get fake degree. So you cannot be surprised, you know, that performance the police institution they get, because the day where the fake degree business come out, tell me one prominent thing happened. There was a video that came out where the IG they sing Tayebu Bongo, which now
the interview when they get another something like a press briefing with them they do outside some side.
Oh, you not see Tayebu Bongo?
No, not see Tayebu. You play the audio by figure.
I don't have the video here. Femi don't see him. I don't say Femi don't see it. Femi don't see Tayebu Bongo.
Femi don't see Tayebu Bongo. Bongo. Tayebu Bongo. You don't see him. Because you don't see him.
Well, so that's what they tell you. Say, you know, you get somebody with a head a proper institution, but that institution don't they have the, you know, limelight for the wrong reasons for the past how many years. Of course, the police all might be done they complain, but the level of brutes and human rights violations and abuses we don't they happen under this Inspector General is alarming. So just like how you said, T-Boy, you're surprised why people then they defend, then they become so defensive when you talk about them degree and qualifications. So all they use now power by force for intimidate you, for sure who that's not them. So that now for make up for the other things they will they cover, unfortunately. So this is where we are as a country. So everything is connected. We know we'll done the talk today. We'll visit some of the conversation today and other things them again, you know, next week. So over to you, T-Boy, last word for today's program. And I don't know if Femi again into you one for art, then we'll close.
I think I want to say thank you to all the contributors in YouTube. I know engage too much with them, but I did engage at some point, and I believe most of their comments are very useful to viewers them also with them online. And continue for the sending your comments and statements, because we here to have an open view of everything we talk about. So basically, yes, we can challenge some of these, you know, they say, fine, that's not a problem at all. I think we are ready for that. And also, again, if we not self get issue, then we will self get issue, we challenge it as well. And then we ask for more proof or more statements or more collaborative sentences towards some of them. But definitely, I think we're here to learn. Each and every one of us is learning every day on this platform. So it's an opportunity for us to know each other, to learn from each other, and also able to communicate with each other. Because if you look at the way how Salon Go, human rights issues are of very high concern. So we therefore begin to look at the issues there so and see how we discuss for minimize them. Not eradicate them totally. Yes, if you can, no problem. But at the same time, let's highlight some of these things so people are aware of it, and then they will be in a position to identify it if it happens in front of them, or they will be in a position to testify or make statement or clarify if anything comes along with the need for make any form of clarification. So how they go inside the Republic, get a lot more for discuss with you now within the next couple of weeks. For Kam, I know say Ramadan is just around the corner. So many things is going to happen, and we also come very close to the independence. Do we have to celebrate? Are we celebrating? But I don't make some kind of resolution this first month for independence, but I will keep it close until the until the time reach. But yeah, thank you very much for all your contributions, and thank you once more. I think we had a very intense discussion.
Could you say that again?
No, I'm not talking to you, Siri. Sorry, Siri.
Trouble hearing you.
Okay, no problem, Siri. Don't worry. I will talk to you when I'm ready. But definitely, people should go back and listen and watch the report, because the report is very important for me to be able to know exactly what it entails. So I pin them at the chats, and unfortunately, I can't say for pin them back in the YouTube chat. So at least we YouTubers then will get access for reader. But reading reports, if you have subsequent reports over the past couple of years in terms of voting, other different agencies, the non-rights without in regards to the human rights in Sierra Leone, please make your comparison and make a fair judgment whether you agree or disagree with some of the things within the highlights. Sometimes some of these people are in the ground, so they know exactly what is happening. They are not strangers to almost everything where they happen at Salon. And also, we were not a Salon, we quick for jump into conclusion, we quick for make statement them without even seeing some of the evidence or facts of what happened. Social media has made it very easy for us to know exactly what is happening in Sierra Leone in real time. So nobody knows if I can say history again. The videos are there as evidence, the audios are there as evidence, the pictures are there as evidence. So if you go online and have access to some of those evidence, you can see them for yourself and actually make your own judgment. You might have not, you might not be there when the incident happened, but there are times when there are testimonies of people who are actually present in some of the scenes. So definitely do your own findings, get your own review, and make your own assessment. But I think human rights abuse is still a threat to the lives of Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone and possibly out of Sierra Leone within your own community. So stay tuned. Over to you, Juma.
Well, thank you, T-Boy. Over to Femi.
Yes, so I'd like to start by saying thank you to reviewers them, both on YouTube and Facebook. Without Una, we no go there and also. You know, me man them, T-Boy Juma then talk today. We call us them. We want to thank you as well because Una help amplify with who they say. You know, we'll begin this talk, but the reports. Wait me get for say what and then just a few things them. If fall white, he white. We'll be the talk we talk. My name is Boku Belfulu bin the pan. Then see na propaganda, then see na noise, then see na badat. Some of them call we say we unpatriotic, who they talk them Boku in there so slanderous in them. So them in the state But now we don't see the report, we don't come out from the one the way we so-called leaders in the worship. Then come out and tell them say waiting and undo 2021 not to the right thing. The image of Sierra Leone isn't great. Now that's thing at the report. For me, that's shameful. A few people and don't tarnish the name of 8 million people in our salon. We have to look at that day. And on that note day, I want done with waiting T-Boy Bini say just now where he say slay queen they all don't begin get degree where they no one they go school. No now T-Boy manage no dandy. But if you look at it, if you look inside the talk where T-Boy talk, so you go realize say sorry, if certain people they get degree where they no merit, be it big man, be it small pikino, if then they get down there and people and they allow them to get away with that, it they tarnish all the good work with the thousands of other people where they actually put the time for study, for practice, for attend classes, forget. Then they take jobs and people them they and we suppose forget them work there so. So in Tibo in defense, I think he's right. We for begin now investigate every single qualification that we the common as salon. Investigate them well for know how then people also manage go get the qualifications there. So and talking about the PhD holders them in mere industry, then can say 70% of what you need to work is practical. Only 30% is theology. They will left for just begin give people a work because they supposedly don't go get PhD. Because really and truly PhD we get and I forgot teach. I forgot lecture. That's the main essence. You go do research, you go lecture, so for Monday we they work on a police. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not saying anything about the police force, but really and truly we get for begin look at why them people they gonna at them big degree also, and we then get them out and the benefits from them, and something educates them. Say you don't need that to do your job. What you need na practical work, and sometimes we get for as a country begin push more practical to people. Them we need more institutions that will teach people them how to use the hand for do certain things them. We present so we for go farm. Sometimes some man they not sabi farm. So sometimes for begin get universities them where they teach people them how for farm, for produce or for mass produce, so that we able for sustain we safe rather than we go buy rice and cucumber and what else, boy? Pepper and okra from abroad, where we can go out with safe. Really and truly, for me, it's sad that certain things can't be grown in Sierra Leone, because I believe we get the rights grown for able for producing them for we safe. We get cheap labor market, so we get all the rights in them for be self-sufficient, and it's a shame that we don't really use them. I hope and I pray say the one that we did before, we as a country we choose for make the lead we, then go begin for lead we rather than for the care we go be in.
Well, good talk. Thank you so much to now two. Like we say, this talk no go done, and we appreciate now all the comments, the calls, and the contribution generally. And we hope for soon again next week. And really, if you want to know waiting at the correlation between fake degrees and the human rights report we'll discuss today, the link there is the Inspector General of Police, because the report mentioned throughout police brutality and things like that, and the person way prominent on fake degrees now the Inspector General of Police. So with that, now go read the reports, and then hopefully in subsequent programs they will begin the discuss them. Next week, part of the program we go analyze T-Boy and Tong na Kenema, then see helicopter the one who Kenema Tonuba. So we'll therefore discuss that one there as well, hopefully next week, in addition to other programs. So
yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, T-Boy and Tong na Kenema. All right, Pambulemuna, good night. Good night. Bye-bye.
Now, who's term this? Yes, this na term for all Salon people and then party them. Sierra Leone Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO, because we get Bebe program then like Salon discussion, meets the ministers, the President's Hour, and the Gladi program. Look me, I look you. All this they start soon na www.sierragemedia.org. Now who's term these?
I love my country, baby. It's a love. It's a love. Now we go with this. Cloud Damo.
Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it were, Usa we go go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it were, Usa we go go. Everybody me say welcome, if we always country so strong. Everybody me say stand up, if you like salon say yeah, 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 yeah. And then say yeah. So good in the morning, the land is just gloomy, the moon is going, the cloud is forming, the cocks are blowing, dew is falling, the birds are coming, everybody running, inside Switzerland today, the land is yummy, see the mommy they cooking fufu, the party smoking cigarettes, Rajo they watch baby musu. We they find out the country rest. Right in West Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. Inside this land, so much I can boast of. Look at the good plantation. From the beach, I get meditation. Make me not wear this nation. I get L-O-V-E for me alone. Yeah, for me alone. Love for me alone, sweet alone. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it were, Usa we go go. Sweet alone. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it were, Usa we go go. Everybody me say welcome, if we own this country so strong. Everybody me say stand up, if you like salon say yeah, 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 yeah. And then say yeah.
I know a L-O-V-E, Sierra Leone was a L-O place where sweet like gold. We got diamond, boxer, silver and gold. So that would make count for the young and old. I mean for let me serve, help me serve. Also you come for the bars, you want for boot chest. Peace, love and unity, now for boot fest. For the jealousy and watch, that don't make sense. Togetherness is one, but wait for we success. So get up and go walk, I'll sit down for the top. I criticize the government just for mix up. But that on the pace, so we need for good stuff. I for also for you all, no matter how you struggle the bone. This life without pain, not easy, not in the zone. Just forget to live in, myself can go slow. We like to say I go, I never forget about this all.
Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it were, Usa we go go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it were, Usa we go go. Everybody me say welcome, if we own this country so strong. Everybody me say stand up, if you like salon say yeah, 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 yeah. And then say yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, then say yeah.
We all remember say, sweet alone how we each and every one God take care of his own. We all remember say, this country now we each and every one for take care of us alone.
I will exalt thee, realm of the free. Great is the love where I get for so long. I got enough track of one for maintain this my land. No matter the situation, I get love for so long.
I got enough every day, no day pamphlet. Placing up picking go school, make it go land the boo. I don't owe me all like farmer, put the country part up for any attack. Me the way me boo. I got enough every day, no day pamphlet. Placing up picking go school, make it go land the boo. I don't owe me all like farmer, put the country part up for any attack. Me the way me boo.
Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it were, Usa we go go. Sweet alone.
What a beautiful home. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if it well, who's how we go go. Everybody me say welcome. If we own this country so strong. Everybody me say stand up. If you like someone say yeah, yeah, yeah.